morning and welcome in to some AEL University Elite Series, proudly brought to you by BkWhatOCE and TwoTapTony. It's time to get down to business. Time for Marvel Rivals.
Woo! Yeah! Marvel Rivals, baby! We're back!
We're so back. The boys are back in town and just like our sponsors, Tony.
Yeah, absolutely. AGON by AOC, the #1 gaming monitor brand in the world. AGON by AOC provide the best-in-class monitor solutions for gaming and all other needs, Matt.
That's it. A big shout out to HyperX and Officeworks. Power your game with the latest HyperX gear at Officeworks. When you need speed, control, and zero distractions, Officeworks has got the tech. Discover gaming gear made to handle serious play.
And as well, Indomie the Noodle partner made with high quality flour and selected ingredients. A plate of Indomie mee goreng will certainly brighten up your day. Try any one of the flavors available today from your local grocer or at indomie.com.au. Matt, again, shout out our sponsors. Couldn't be possible without them.
That's it. Big shout out to each and every one of our sponsors there. You know them, we love them, and we appreciate everything that they are doing there. So, really big shout out to all of them, but a big shout out to our teams, Tony. Our teams. Take a look at this, mate.
Yeah, the standings in front of you. Of course, UNSW 6-1, Monash and RMIT 5-2, UTS as well down there at that 5-2 mark, QUT, Macquarie 4-3 and 2-5 respectively, and then Swinburne 1-6, and Deakin currently 0-7. And Matt, you know, I believe we rounded up our group, our regular stage, and now we're into the playoffs. So this is where it's all on the line for these teams this evening.
That it is, Tony. That it is. It's going to be all or nothing here and now. We have our semi-final matches here tonight to decide who will be playing out the third place matchup and the grand final coming at you next week. These matches are high stakes. We got our top 4 teams locked and loaded here, and it's all or nothing, make or break for each and every single one of them.
Yeah, and of course, to kick it off, UNSW versus UTS to start off the evening, Matt, should be an absolute heater. And then, of course, Monash versus RMIT later on in the piece. And yeah, I was going to say our top 4, very scary. We've seen these teams go toe-to-toe throughout the season, and they've just looked better and better as the season's progressed, of course, especially looking at, you know, that team in that other semi-final, Monash versus RMIT. Two of those teams that struggled a little bit towards the start of the season, but then they kind of found their footing towards the end. But UNSW, UTS, two of those teams that have been solid week after week and showing a level of consistency we weren't expecting.
Yeah, I've really admired the journey that each of the teams have been able to take, Tony. You know, it really goes to show the dedication to the craft has paid dividends for them. And yeah, I'm just very impressed with how things have gone so far in the season. But Tony, obviously, you know, it's the proving grounds right now to decide who will be able to put their pride on the line and slide in to take away victory. Yeah, you know, thinking of a team that has something to prove, that's Monash. Last season's champions. You know, they definitely had a solid season last season. This season, it's been a bit shaky at times. I feel like they're back on towards the right track now, though. So very curious to see how things will fare for them heading into this week, because there's definitely going to be all or nothing here tonight against a tough competitor in RMIT. And UNSW, one of the same, you know, have been really pleasant surprise, I'd say, this season. You know, I feel like they're in their best form yet. Some would argue that they're at the top of the competition right now, and I don't think that that's, you know, an unfathomed statement. I think they're definitely a very competitive roster as well, and they are going to be facing off against UTS. All these rosters, Tony, have showcased that they got what it takes. They've got something to prove, and it's their time, their chance to make a move on this one.
Yeah, definitely their chance to make a move. UTS versus UNSW should be a very exciting game. I was going to say we've seen, I believe, a diverse pool of different characters from both of those teams. And, you know, UTS was one of the front runners even last season. I was going to say, I kind of point back to how they performed pretty consistently throughout the last season. Going to this season, they've looked pretty much the same, the well-oiled machine that we expect out of UTS. But yeah, as you said, UNSW definitely surprising a lot of heads throughout the season and definitely earned their spot here at the top.
Yeah, absolutely. Feel like they've certainly earned their place at the top there. Obviously the season played out one way, but heading into the playoffs here and now, everything could go a whole other direction. So very excited to see how this first match of the day goes off with UNSW and UTS here up for a best of 5 of all things, Tony. It's the playoffs when you got a best of 5, so let's dive right into our rosters.
Yeah, for the side of UNSW, it's going to be Frost, Runk, Lick, Wang, Nuva, and Muffin. And for the side of UTS, it's Floente, Milk, Dinosaur Pillow, Anthony, Jay Sune, and Gas. Matt, we look at these rosters, we look at these players. We've seen nothing but highlights out of both of these teams, right? UNSW, you think about the strategist play, you think about Frost's flexibility, you think about Nuva as well, playing that Psylocke from time to time, has shown a little bit of diversity as well, can play a few other things. Wang as well, especially, has shown that they can play a lot of different things here. For the side of UTS, I think back to the Hexa KO, that we saw from Anthony there on the Winter Soldier. That play, of course, sticks out in my mind, but you've got some very solid individual players. Milk, Fluente, Dinosaur Pillow as well have been key treats to watch. Jay Sune as well, shown a ton of flexibility. I believe brought out Spider-Man at one stage. We didn't get to see it really do its full thing, but of course, look forward to seeing that one as well. Gas holding down the Vanguard line quite well. So, both these teams on paper stacked at the brim.
That's it, as stacked as they possibly can be. You spoke about things on your mind, Tony. I'm curious whose minds are going to be afflicted when we see those psionic seductions come out from Emma Frost, if it does make its way through the pick save phase there, or pick, ban, and protect, whatever you want to call it. Definitely excited for what that could bring here. Obviously, our players, they've done a lot to prepare themselves for this, and yeah, they're just going to be really on the edge of their seats. I'm really curious to see, I guess, if there's going to be any new form of strategies coming out from them. Obviously, as the season progresses, the meta does adapt. It does evolve. I think we saw a little whisper, a glimpse of that last week when we saw Monash utilize the Angela in the best way possible there. So that was really impressive to see a team be able to make that work. Obviously, next map coming up for this one, though, going to be a Glinta. We are going to Celestial Husk here tonight. I'm very excited for how that one plays out, Tony. But yeah, back to my point before, I'm curious if other teams, now that Angela's kind of started to cement herself into the hold there, or into the fold, if other teams will be able to activate with similar compositions around her.
Yeah, it's going to be a curious case. As we spoke to a few of those teams. As we said, Monash is the team that want to play it. The rest of them don't really want to touch it with a 10-foot pole. So be curious to see how it goes going into this one here. Of course, Celestial Husk domination to kick it off for the best of 5. Matt, no longer best of 3. So I feel like we'll get to see what these teams are really capable of. We've seen some very dominant sweeps from a few of these teams throughout the group stage, but best of 5 playoffs. This is where it all comes down to fruition here for both these teams.
Yeah, so we're going to go down to fruition. Oh, we're going to come into the mix here, and immediate bans are going to be Ultron and Jeff. Definitely understandable coming out on the Ultron, honestly, considering how much impact Ultron has really been able to find this season. It kind of makes me feel like we're back in season 2.5 or season 3. Because, yeah, Ultron has just found a lot of value playing into a very common triple strategist meta. One of the same, seeing a bit more value from Jeff with the ult updates there. Great to see. But Luna going to be chopped off, and a torch will be saved. So that's a big one to have available for Anthony in particular. But now Ultron is going to be covered by UNSW there, so they can play into some of that strategist potential as well.
Yeah, they're going to play into the strategist. We'll see. Of course, a lot of prio towards that one. Ultron being locked in here for UNSW. Mantis getting taken away here for UTS. Don't mind that one. We've seen, and I guess I kind of heralded Lick as probably the best Mantis player that we've seen recently here in the Uni League, and I was going to say in other competitions as well. Lick has always been a very standout kind of player with the impact that they have on the Mantis as well. We'll see what else is a priority here. Of course, UTS are hovering the Magic. We have seen a lot of prior towards that team up as of late. You know, Magic is pretty good at the current meta. I was going to say, at least in the competitive scene, Magic is one of those characters that can be in and out, dive. Your strategist kind of plays like, you know, the Wolverine of old. You know, Wolverine kind of got touched down a little bit, and we kind of saw the dive meta fall off a little bit, but now that Magic's back into fruition, you know, you have to be careful. We'll see Emma Frostlock here for UNSW, so they're looking to probably protect their backline a little bit harder with that pick there.
Yeah, I have no doubts about that whatsoever, Tony. You know, I think they're definitely trying to protect their backline, and really big to take away the Magneto. You know, really staple Vanguard coming out there, can find a lot of value, putting up the bubbles on their teammates there, especially having the Meteor M available, and now not going to be able to rely upon that for UNSW. So also in that sense, they've taken away from that team up. They are going to be taking the mag for themselves. So definitely really good to see that they're taking away a lot of higher value targets. But obviously with that in mind, they are going to leave a few things open as well. You know, like what you were talking about in the initial stage of broadcast, where Nuva, someone who can play deep into a Psylocke, you know, very sharp player. And definitely one to keep your eye on. But Punisher getting taken down, I think that's pretty high value as well, honestly, because if they're playing into that Emma Frost, trying to get more shields up around their Vanguards, you don't want something that can effectively tear them down pretty quickly there. You know, things like Thing or Punisher with that turret there, just a lot of those higher value duelists or like Vanguards and the like. But we are seeing something we don't see often, which is the Hawkeye and Luna team up looking to be played into by UNSW here.
Yeah, that's an interesting one, as of course we'll head here into our first point of the Celestial Husk. And yeah, I was going to say, we don't get to see all too much of the Luna Hawkeye. And I was going to say, as you know, you alluded to and I spoke about at the start of the broadcast, Nuva has been one of those guys that can flex onto different roles and kind of flex onto different characters within the duelist role. So I'm looking forward to seeing this one. Lick going to be rocking with the Ultron. We'll wait to see what Frost, of course, picks up here. But UNSW, it's a scary composition, all things considered. UTS, though, they're going to be bringing out something that I really like to see is Floente on the Loki. I was going to say a lot of teams have been taking that one away recently from UTS, so Floente getting the rock with that one with some milk moves on the Cloak and Dagger, and of course a little bit of prio towards the sky here with the Human Torch. So UTS, I was going to say, a pretty well-rounded composition, all things considered.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Tony. I think that having like Anthony up in the sky is there, Jesune on the ground, it's a great, well-oiled machine. But in saying that, we do worry about a Hawkeye who can pretty much one-shot certain characters is going to be a big problem. And already, Nuva is showcasing that in full force. Lick getting very aggressive as well there. So UNSW are just forcing them back. It's just crazy to see that potential. Now they're going to take the mission area in the first instance.
Yeah, I like the, I guess the initial focus towards the high ground here for, I guess, both sides, right? You kind of want to control that high ground. You want to be in your opponent's face, finding those quick KOs. We're already seeing Frost on the back line. Once again, Nuva just finding a quick pick there with the bow. And will be sending UTS packing for the moment. They'll be going all the way back to spawn. As UTS will get a quick capture up to about 20%. But yeah, controlling that high ground, very important if you want to control the point early on.
Yeah, going to be very valuable for them there, and very eager to see what they can get from it. You get some just out of Sonic Boom there. You know, I think that's going to be pretty valuable dealing with the flying characters in particular there. See if they can get some big hits through though. Focus now coming towards it over here. Uh-oh, a bit of trouble. Oh my goodness. They will be able to find big shots just like that, Tony. And now it's time to get online, say goodnight to Venom, and possibly even more.
Yeah, Hawkeye ultimate coming out. There's Frost catching. Oh, sorry, that's Gas getting caught there by Nuva. I was going to say, we've got two Venoms in the party. So it's hard to tell who's who at the current moment. Anthony will be able to trade out Frost, though. A little bit aggressive for UNSW, but of course still able to control high ground for the moment. We've got Muffin controlling space super well. So it's actually going to be going out here, trying to catch up Anthony. They will try to lock down the Luna as well. But of course, it's Anthony trapped now in the skies. It will be the Cloak and Dagger ultimate coming out. It will be Dance the Butterfly. Just trying to get some damage across, soften up these KOs. Another Cloak and Dagger ultimate coming out here. UTS, though, are trying to make their foot towards the point. It will be as well. Fate of both worlds towards Psionic Seduction here. Both sides face the Abyss with Frost fighting two. There, that is the strategist now down. UNSW are controlling this point back in their favor. As Dinosaur Pillow will be able to clean up a quick two for themselves. The KOs are still going. That's another two from Frost. Make it a third. That's a triple KO for the Venom. And overtime will take UNSW control that point as the portal comes in from UTS.
Yeah, getting it close, got a fine line there. Still going to be online onto the mission area though. And it's a big shot coming out from Nuba. Say goodbye to Anthony. Maybe could follow up with more. Charging up to full power. Ooh, here we go. Hunter's side online right now. Gonna try and burst down those Vanguards. They're taking a bit of punishment themselves. Somebody has to go out of this, but utilizing those shields has been so big. They only find one Vanguard out of the mix there. Muffin trying to catch them off guard with the Psionic Seduction. Does stall them out a little bit. Definitely going to be big impact, big damage coming through. And more where that came from. UTS stalling it out. See ya online. Trying their best to shut that down immediately. And they will find value. Rage of Ultron are going to be available as well for Lick here. They don't need to use it though. It looks like they've got a handle over the mission area right now. They are slowly but carefully staggering out these KOs. And just like that, they take control. And that's the first one, Tony. We have the Codex unlocked.
Yeah, the Codex captured here by the side of UNSW. And I was going to say, it looked a little bit scary there. Great portal play from UTS to get back to the point quickly. But overall, once again, have to give props to Frost, looking absolutely fearsome on the Venom. That Feast of the Abyss came out so perfectly timed there, just as the Fate of Both Worlds went down from UTS. Frost was able to capitalize, found some quick KOs there onto the strategist, and UNSW were able to win the fight from there. Now we'll see some adaptation here from UTS. They're bringing out the Jeff here to J-Sune, Floente now to the Mantis. And still going to be rocking with the Torch, so a little bit of prio now. Triple strategist lineup here for UTS, but UNSW, they're not changing anything, Matt. They're sticking with what they know.
Yeah, sticking to the tried and tested there, Tone. Sticking to what they know, and, you know, I respect it. There's definitely good value to be had here, and probably more where that came from. But see what they can cook up into the next vision. Celestial Husk, Frost, hiding up high, waiting down low. Let's see if we can get the ball rolling up top. Yeah, here we go. Good see, Feast of the Abyss activated. There we go. Going to be online. Eternal Bond coming out from Milk as well. Rage of Ultron from Lick. Just trying to keep their team online as long as possible. But these players are locked in right now. And Frost needs to get back quick. Good response from Run for the Eternal Bond there.
Yeah, great Eternal Bond, keeping everybody healthy. Nullifying the damage here from Utes. Yes, we'll see Nova with the Hawkeye ultimate, but we'll see Supernova here from Anthony doing quite a bit of work. Nova has popped that Hawkeye ultimate, looking for a little bit more punishment. Will push them away for the moment. But now Lick just has to watch as everybody falls, and UTS are looking to capture this point. They'll take out Frost in just a little bit of time. He lives for, quite a while. But the KO finally comes through from Milk News, and that will be UTS finally able to capture the point here.
Yeah, solid stuff coming out from UTS there. I was really impressed with how they were able to single out, like, Frost in particular. They all overwhelmed Frost and then started to get the KOs rolling from there. So, bearing in mind, Jeff Time is online as well now. So if UNSW try to form a resurgence onto this one, they might just get Jeff timed away straight off the map. Like, there's plenty of exit points they can utilize for that. And speaking of, already forced into the backline here, Psionic Seduction all over our strategists. But Soul Resurgence will come in response to Floente is making a dividend. Muffin is gone. We are seeing the Fate of Both Worlds going out from Yuang the One on this one. Fits the Abyss as well. See ya. It's going to be goodbye, as they will be able to take it down Nuva with the Jeff Time. and looking to see if they can capture anything else. All up by none. More to follow, Tone.
Yeah, the strategy is getting run down right now here. Gas just putting the foot on it and not letting them walk up here. You can see Yuwang the one currently put under pressure. Anthony with the torch, setting them ablaze, and you can see UTS have been lit a fire underneath them. 65% already caps here and just controlling the point so well. We'll see Frost swap over to the Strange. We'll see as well moving now to the Phoenix. So some adaptations having to be made here by UNSW. They will look to pop the portal here towards the point, and UTS have to be on guard.
On guard. It's Strange time, and see what else they are going to be able to do against the Rage of Ultron here. Big focus around keeping their team alive on this one. Eternal Bond from Milk as well is going to be good to keep their side of the pitch alive. Runk with their own Eternal Bond, though. They do even more. Psionic Seduction coming out, and Song Inferno wanting the same. It's going to be shut down immediately. Fist of Abyss as well coming out here. Dinosaur Pillow doing whatever they can with the Supernova, but Anthony, big focus, hard takedown, the strategist, they're in deep trouble here, Tony, and let's see what else they can do.
Yeah, this is beautiful spacing. I was going to say, UNSW just playing target focus right now. You see Nuba bouncing around, using that Phoenix momentum, using the Phoenix abilities to get away and get through. We'll be able to pop one back, KO onto Gas here. Nuba's still under threat, under fire. Needs to try and get out here. It is going to be great Psionic Seduction to lock down. Milk news there. They will find BkWhatOCE, and it's another from Nuba as they will finally capture the point. UNSW bring it down to 99, but they will be finding themselves a percentage now starting to build.
Yeah, at long last, they will be able to blast in, take things up a notch here, and see if they can capture a little bit more out of this one. They do have Rage of Ultron, Eye of Agamotto available with Fate of Both Worlds pretty close by, but UTS here, they're close to the Jeff time again. If they can capture a lot of players with that, this could be a really big way to turn this game around, but obviously they have to really bear in mind the opposing team strategist ultimate. Let's see who's going to be able to pop off here now, Tony, as this fight is starting to heat up.
Starting to get under threat here. Muffin taken down to about half HP there. Eye of Agamotto is available here from Frost, and will pop up onto the top. BkWhatOCE wasn't expecting that one. Dive onto the top rope here from Frost, but now needs to play healthy, needs to play safe. Taking a chunk of damage, but able to hold up that shield, able to be topped up by the strategist here. That's a great fight to find here for UNSW as they look to capture more percentage. Anthony does still have the Supernova, as you said, the Jack time available here for Super. They Sude will look to try and find something here, but UNSW are looking to hold steady.
Gonna hold strong, hold steady, and we'll see if they can burst this one open like confetti. Big damage taken, Frost is down, Psionic Seduction coming out. They're trying to target down the Ultron, they got away, oh maybe not. They've managed to push them into the fray there, targeting down the strategist in the back line, and Song Inferno, I love this patience. Dive straight onto the strategist, big damage around the back there, no one there to back it up though, but it does at least cut off the healing for a second. Still going to be plenty more where that came from though, Tone, and Psionic Seduction. Going to get some good captures over the top. It's time for the Soul Resurgence into the range of Ultron though. Nuba's gone down. This is a big issue. We'll see if they can recover, find a KO back in their own here, as they are struggling to keep their team up. Yuwang the one down. Everybody's going down right now for UNSW. UTS are crawling their way up, staggering in the KOs. This could be game, set, and match unless Nuba can contest this one. The OT timer coming in, the portal. But is it too little too late? No! Nuba has contested!
Yeah, Nuba's contested, and then through the portal and straight back on. Frost over to the Adam Warlock, and we'll see Feast of the Abyss immediately come out to soften up those KOs here for the side of UTS. Muffin trying to stall, trying to hold down this point, but it is all looking like UTS are running over it. Nuba back onto the point and taken back out, KO'd by Gas, and UTS will be able to capture Celestial Hand here, Matt, and we'll go all the way to the vault.
It's time to burst the vault open, Tony. We're committing a heist on a Clintar right now. Looking to see exactly what can be done here. Adam. No, Adam. No, Adam. Well, you know, I thought we'd see no Hawkeye, and I was pleasantly surprised. So, big props to Nuva for that one, by the way. Absolutely incredible stuff. But speaking of incredible stuff, Tony, this game has got a whole lot more competitive very, very quickly. UTS, they got a point to prove here. They don't want this to be a one-sided affair. They want to take this to the very top, and I don't blame them. They have to give it their best. It's time to see who can steal away map number 1 on this one.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you credit Nuva there bringing out the Hawkeye in that first point, and then UTS showed some adaptation. I was gonna say Hawkeye didn't really feel like the pick to bring to that second one. That's why we saw Nuva swap it up. And of course, once again, high ground control for both these teams, a very important one. Can't be giving up a unfortunate quick KO there. You can see Frost. We'll see Lake already using up the Rage of Ultron early on. This feels like a fight that was forced on the UNSW from UTS, so we'll see Lake really not get any value out of the Rage of Ultron. We'll see once again Supernova coming out here from Anthony, softening up his KOs. Florente able to find one run, getting taken out there by the fire tornadoes. Supernova going absolutely huge. Anthony looking to weave around the point right now, looking to find another there on the Muffins. The KOs here, the triple from Anthony, looking to maybe find Lick and Air, send them packing. Yu Wang the one needs to be a little bit careful because Anthony is looking heated up right now.
Oh yeah, heating up and really giving it their absolute best. You know, when you see the Anthony torch, you know that they mean business. They are not stuffing around. They are giving it their absolute best into this one, and see if they are going to be able to capture another KO or two through into this one. As take it steady, take it slow. Gas already. The jump straight in. Does have Feast of the Abyss available. Not going to be able to activate it though. Good freeze coming out there. Frost going to be able to take away that KO and going to slow the flow down. See if they can find a more UTS members here. But here goes the ultimate combination coming out with the Psionic Seduction into the Soul Resurgence and maybe more to follow. Jaysune going to go down to Lick though. Big problem already, losing out a strategist there, but they're still holding as strong as they possibly can.
Oh, and Nuva almost getting caught there. Florente with some nice taps there from the Mantis, and we'll see UNSW though. They have captured the points, so they're looking to try and let their presence be known here. Taking once again up onto the high ground, and they'll look to try and let that presence be known here onto UTS, but still UTS are healthy in numbers, healthy in members. They'll look to try and walk it back up here. They've got a few ultimates of their own, but Psionic Seduction coming out there, floating up, locking down Anthony. And it is looking good now. UNSW, that's the target they wanted to find. Anthony has been such an absolute threat here on the torch, up in the skies. Frost just dishing out a ton of damage here with the Frost early on. Of course, look to back it up here with Muffin. UTS though, they lost Anthony in the process, so this fight's a little bit staggered. Anthony's now back up in fruition. The Supernova's online as well, so we'll look to see it popped immediately here, but fate of both worlds, Rage of Ultron, and it's going to be End Song Inferno. Hell of a right moment to pop it, and it will not find anyone. Jeff time from Jaysune swallows up the two, will spit out the ally, and Nuva will be able to be found by Anthony. This is looking good for UTS now.
Yeah, looking good for UTS at the moment, but UNSW are the ones building up percentage here, Tony. Anthony in a bit of trouble. Leak does go down, so they're going to have less to deal with Anthony. You ain't the one down as well. Double strategist is out of here. It's all going to be up to Runk in this one. Eternal Bond pops at the perfect moment. They can keep themselves online on the mission area a while longer. Psionic Seduction going to try and take them away here. Shields are good to keep them activated, though. They've got their own Psionic Seduction as well coming into this one. But they have to deliver more here, have to get more KOs, and they're getting closer and closer by the second. Surely they can find someone out of this one as we're into the OT section, Tony, and everything is heating up.
Yeah, everything's heating up. I was going to say great blocks there on the Psionic Seduction from Muffin, and of course Frost, but now Frost is out of the picture. So is Muffin, so is Rump, and so is Yu Wang. The one, it's a clean sweep there for UTS on the point. As Nuva has to fall back, play the safety of the range, and here, no staggers for the side of UNSW. They'll all regroup and look to fight this next fight with their best foot forward, but UTS, I have to give them credit. It's some great adaptation from them. Once again, Gas showing that the Venom is a threat. Unfortunately, you know, for Frost, I was going to say, it doesn't feel like you can run Venom in a composition like this. You need to be able to keep your strategist on line in the back line here. As we'll see the fight once again break out towards the higher ground. Lick trying to snipe away a crucial target here. Supernova already coming out from Anthony, looking for those quick KOs as well. The Eternal Bond comes out to keep everybody healthy.
Healthy as can be and ready to break free as have so much more work to do here. Rank, Eternal Bond coming online, and they've doubled down on the Strategist ultimate. This could be a big problem, as a matter of fact. You're going the one with the Fate of Both Worlds as well. Trying to elevate things. I like how they've utilized it for the damage in this instance, though, but haven't found as much impact as they would like. Psionic Seduction now coming out from Dinosaur Pillow as well. Things really starting to spill over here. Tony, Anthony, unstoppable on this. Has found quad KOs here. They're looking for even more over the top as well. Surely they won't get it. No, they won't. But you know what they will get? Map number 1 in the bag, Tony. Celestial Husk goes to UTS.
Absolutely huge game there, and you see the priority immediately towards the torch pick from UTS, and it pays off. There was nothing that the side of UNSW did to really answer it, right? I was going to say they had the looter in play to try and stop it a little bit, but the presence from Anthony alone on this torch was absolutely felt. As of course, we'll see first map Celestial Husk going over to UTS, and well, my God, what a first game it was, Matt. What a Celestial Husk to start it off here. Clint's always bound to deliver, and well, for both these teams, especially in a best of 5 for the semi-finals here, that one delivered on all fronts.
Oh, couldn't agree with you more there, Tony. Delivered on all fronts. They pumped up the volume. They managed to pump up the damage to the maximum there, and they just delivered when and where it counted. So very impressed with how UTS managed to push their way through that endeavor, albeit it was a close map of domination there, but they managed to prevail in the end. As so they will sail their way through towards a second map in this best of 5 endeavor. And keep that number in mind. You know, best of 5 means even if they come out on top in this first one, there is always room to fight back on both sides of the coin here. And we will see which team is going to be able to steam ahead. I have a bit of spidey sense, one could say, Tony, that we might see Torch banned in the next draft. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I definitely want to see Torch banned. That was just too much to deal with from Anthony there. I was going to say so many supernovas that kind of had the impact. Of course, they didn't find the KOs necessarily, but you know, the follow-up damage from the rest of UTS was just too much to deal with there as well. Jay Sune, a little bit of an unsung hero on the Jeff. I was going to say some very high prio Jeff times. Of course, Celestial Husk isn't one of those maps that you can necessarily take people off of the point. Of course, like, fully KO them off of the point, but you can take them out of the fight, and that's enough to really bring your fight over the edge for the side of UTS. So we saw Gas, Dinosaur Pillow, Vanguards were absolutely perfect. I was going to say about 90k blocked between them. So much frontline presence here from the side of UTS, and yeah, as you said, I had expected Torch ban. I also maybe expected Ultron ban from the side of UTS. I felt like, you know, Lick was doing his part there in the Ultron, to say the least.
And let's see exactly what they are going to be able to prepare themselves to do, as they've got so much more to see, so much more to do. But Tony, I feel like we could see, honestly, maybe an Emma ban come through as well.
Yeah,
at least one of these drafts. So I feel like that one found a lot of value for both sides, for that matter.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say the Frost block there on the Psionic Seduction with Muffin. I was going to say just the fact that you had Strange at your disposal kind of allowed the blocking of that Psionic Seduction there, but it didn't matter. I was going to say UTS, you know, just because that ultimate got eaten up there by the shields, didn't really matter all too much. But yeah, the Psionic Seductions overall from both sides were quite a threat. You saw the one fight that I believe UNSW won to start that point off was them locking down Anthony there on the Human Torch, and that's the power of the ultimate, right? That's why you want to take Emma out of the mix.
Yeah, exactly right. Because they can use the Emma to like take out some of that potential there, and it's just grand, like super duper grand. But we'll see how things go once we get things going, Mr. Tony. Well, once we get things really rolling here. One thing I do note coming into this season as well, Tony, is we have seen a bit of a shift away, I'd say, from the Loki used more commonly in the strategist lineup. You know, obviously having a lot of changes this season does mean that more often than not, there's more priority over some of the other strategists instead now. You know, and it's interesting to see, I guess, how much focus is heading into that direction. And I suppose I'm curious what the evolution of the drafts will turn out to be, like between season 4 and season 4.5, early into next month, which is so soon. And it feels like just yesterday the season started, but that's just how it goes when you're playing this wonderful game of Marble Rivals, isn't it, Tony? You know, everything goes so quick when you're having such a great time.
Yeah, it's gonna be great to see. I was gonna say the adaptations that these teams make going into next season, and of course as they look to adapt going into this series overall. Matt, we spoke about the strategist quite a bit. I guess I want to pinpoint as well the fact that UTS were allowed to play the Mantis. I feel like that character's got a little bit of an unsung something about them, right? It's the soul resurgences are so good at kind of keeping everybody online in a pinch, right? I was going to say, just when you see a target drop low, we see Floente pop that soul resurgence, and it kind of kept everybody from UTS alive. But as well, Floente kind of playing Mantis like a pseudo duelist in a way. I was going to say almost sniping out, I believe it was Nuva in one of those fights, as well, looking towards the backlines as well. You can kind of dish out a lot more punishment. And I was going to say for UNSW, they probably weren't expecting as much as well. I was going to say with the pick potential too from Floente with the sedates, you stop a target from doing anything in a fight, and all of a sudden it's a 5v6, and you're like, all right, fight's ours to win, just off of one sedate alone.
Yeah, it's crazy the potential that can come out of that, right? Especially when you combo it with other things that can kind of be used for that crowd control there. You get the sedate through, you can freeze them on Luna as well. Like, there's just a lot of things which you can really lock together and just create like a sleeper comp, so to speak. You combo that into like a Bucky hook, into something with the Squirrel Girl, into Angela, into Wolverine. There's a lot of great. That composition sounds like hell, Tony. It sounds like hell. Honestly, I hope no one faces something like that, because I would be very worried. But no, next map is going to be coming up right now. I think it's what is it, Spider Islands, if I'm not mistaken. So definitely eager to see how that one plays out. And yeah, I like a bit of convoy. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, pushing the mission vehicle always, I guess, as well allows for closer games. I was going to say a lot of these teams, it gets down to that final push. And I was going to say, especially Spider Island's one of those maps where you can kind of get out of your spawn pretty quickly and stop that mission vehicle from getting to its full completion. So I expect to see a lot of crazy overtime shenanigans potentially going into this one, Matt, because both of these teams played pretty close in that last one, and looking forward to seeing the adaptations, as we said, in the picks and locks here. Because, of course, as we said, Torch probably a very high prio target to be taken away, and Emma as well, I imagine.
Yeah, no doubt in my mind about that one, Tony. I think those are going to be pretty high priority. But I mean, even with those potentially going away, there's so many other things that can be played as well. Just seeing like the lineup right now. Yeah, there it is. Immediate ban on the Torch. Jet's going to be banned to try and counter out Runk there as well. Runk, a really solid Jet player, so it makes a lot of sense seeing what they are trying to take out of this one. But Ultron are going to be locked and loaded here, so good to take advantage of that for UTS. And Mantis going to be taken away, Tony. So there you go. You spoke about the priority of the Mantis. Well, Mantis is gone, and both teams have an Ultron right now. So great to see what they can do with this, Tony. And let's see what else they are going to be able to capture.
Yeah, it should be interesting. Ultra unlock for both sides. And Mantis taken away for both sides, so a little bit of mirror priority here. Torch and Jeff taken out of the piece. Feels like we're trading tit for tat here. I was going to say interesting prioritization.
Yeah, great to see what they are going to be able to do with all of this. You know, seeing Jeff banned out on both sides now, so we aren't going to be seeing the Jesune Jeff on this one either. But what we are seeing, Magneto is going to be protected this time around for UNSW. So if the Luna does come through, which more likely than not, it will, then there is a big potential for them to try and take that one down and really nullify some of that strategist potential. But there it is, the Emma ban. I was alluding towards it into the last map there, and now it has been to deliver. Let's see what the protect is going to be in a kind, though. Magneto, there you go. So everybody playing Magneto, but UNSW not going to be playing Emma. So that could be a big problem for, well, you know what? No one's going to play Emma. No one's going to play Emma. I love it. So no Psionic Seduction this time, no Torch this time. It's going to be a clean match. None of this crazy stuff. And really excited to see, I guess, how things change. But, you know, Anthony was playing characters with fire before, and now Anthony's going to be playing characters with fire again. They've opted to go onto the Phoenix this time.
Yeah, interesting little swap up here as well. You know, prior towards the Magnetos, we saw Emma taken away for both sides. So Magneto feels like the best fit here to fill out that role, and we'll be seeing a little bit of a hover here towards the Storm there for a second there from Yuang the One, but of course not going to be too likely of a lock-in. Frost and Muffin rocking with the Groot thing. They got triple strategist, triple Vanguard back.
Look, it makes a lot of sense on the defensive side, Tony, because they can stall the card really, really effectively playing into a composition like that. It's basically a big heal call.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say it allows, I guess, as well the era of distraction here from UTS. We'll probably see get a lot of free damage off early on, especially with the fact that they're probably not going to be looking towards it with all the Vanguards in front of them. As well, you know, Magic team up here for the side of UTS. We can see those chains really coming to fruition, but it was early fight here on the choke. Not anymore. Nope, immediately swaps off. Jay Sudo going to be onto the Storm too, so they see the Ultra on the lane. Alright, we'll match it player for player, right?
Yeah, they will, but looks like it's not working out so far. Already, though, Hannah Conchu going to be coming out from Anthony, and that's the big power, you know. They can look to rip up some of that frontline potential by using Conchu. So they can push the mission vehicle pretty far with that. Speaking of, Milk going down now as well. So they're going to be pushing things a lot further on the UNSW side, it would seem. And really keen to see how they can adapt around this one. What else they are going to be able to do here as they're trying to put walls between them, but those walls just keep getting broken down.
Yeah, I really like the group pick here from Muffin, and of course just maybe try to pick off a target here. Quick KO there. Clobbering time, I believe, just came out from Frost, but didn't really find all too much for it. Yuang quite low there. The Eternal Bond not quite able to keep him healthy. Anthony with a double KO, and the Conscience already out once again, Matt. Able to charge that one up so quickly here with the Moon Knight. And we'll still see UTS hold strong. They still have their strategists up, though. KO from Anthony onto Runky. We'll continue to see Anthony put the pressure on. We'll see move on 4. And just when you expect the composition looks good here from UNSW, they're now looking to change things up a little bit.
Yeah, looking to change it up a little bit. It does make a bit of sense, you know. Obviously, their first line of defense did get broken down eventually, but they did a pretty good job to stall for the time that they did. They're going to have another go of it now, though. Rage of Ultron is online and available should they require it. Strangling Prison coming out there as well. Paint of Both Worlds now going to be activated, and they've already found one of those Vanguards. A bigger potential coming out from UTS here. Ooh, Paint of Both Worlds delayed from Milk, though. This would be a big, rather from Mover, but Anaconchu forcing them back. Now finding more. Here we go. Agamotto coming out, doubling out onto that one. Everybody's just trading ults at this point. Invisible Boundary from Floente at least going to keep UTS in the game here. and they are going to push this one as far as they possibly can. But I mean, just like before, Tony, UNSW are just doing a great job of stalling the mission vehicle.
Yeah, they don't look all too worried. J-Sude, though, will take to the skies with a double KO, making a triple there, taking out Lick. Staggering out the KOs there. Frost will be up, and we'll swap to Captain America here. Muffin, of course, over towards the Strange, but of course the group walls might have stopped them from coming through. Run throw with the Eternal Bond. Stall for the mission vehicle once more here. UNSW are just playing fiddle here against UTS. They'll push them off the mission vehicle as well with that. Everybody will be able to come back towards this fight, and Lick is raining down tyranny. Is the Meteor M coming out, trying to snipe there onto J-Sude over the top of the Strange shield. And this is looking good now for UTS. Well, I was going to say they get stalled back.
Stalled back and stalled forward, and let's see what else they are going to be able to do. Strangling Prison coming out right now. Fate of Both Worlds as well. It's time to bring things up a notch. League at least doing a great job to keep their team up, but I mean, that can only last so long. And Onshu coming out is a big problem. Anthony doing the best they can. They got bounced on in the back line by Frost, though. Captain America releasing their full strength. A Fearless Leap is available, and the strategists would be predisposed, but no. Uber is down. Anthony still going to be clowning around, doing the best that they can here. OT timer is online. UTS need to get this one over the line desperately, and at last, they will be able to push it, Tony. My God, they have to work for that.
This is a close affair here on the Spider Islands. I was going to say UCS really having to pull out all the stops really to capture these ones here. We'll see Anthony swap over to Punisher, so kind of like that one, a little bit of a shield shredder here. UNSW, they've identified too that the shields are quite a nuisance here, so they'll swap as well, move it on to the Punisher. We'll see Yu Wang on now to the Storm. We'll see Lick here. We'll see Hurricane being thought about here for J-Sude. Over towards the backline though, Eternal Bond keeping everybody healthy here. Well timed from Rump. And nice. That ultimate from doing anything here. Now the Hurricane available for Yu Wang the one. We'll see Boundary though keep everybody healthy. And we'll see Ayamoto. We'll see traded picks here. And we'll see a Mega Hurricane come out here. Here comes the Storm.
Here comes the Hurricane. They are blasting away, but the damage just ain't good enough, Tony. All they can do with this is zone them back for a time. J-Sude going down there as well. And see if they can get us something more from this. What I like to see from Nuva here is the Punisher though, and ooh, that was a big shutdown. They shut down Anthony's final judgment and bring out their own. They immediately pop the Meteor M there, and now they are wiping up the front line here. This is devastating impact coming out from Nuva and co.
Yeah, beautiful judgment out of Nuva there. I believe even taking out Gas, who popped the Meteor M, so just denying everybody there from UTS taking any sort of space. And now we'll see the turret gameplay come out. Nuva in the face there, just kind of being guarded by Frost and Muffin. They'll have to give up a little bit of space because they are losing a little bit of HP. Meteor M still available here for Frost. Gas did lose out on that one. We'll see Yu Wang Wong as well start to build up that Hurricane. As well, Invisible Boundary here, just trying to keep everybody healthy. The strategists are, I was going to say, really getting their money's worth right now here for the side of UTS, because everybody losing HP, getting topped back up immediately here. And we'll see the Hurricane out of J-Sude sweep across for 2-0.
Yeah, gonna be nullified. Agamotto coming out here as well, but no, what else is coming out? Omega Hurricane lost in their way in. A Meteor down the back. Anthony goes down with Milk there, trying to hunt down Boente. They find it, and that is going to be a successful hold coming through. They managed to fold up all of their frontline presence, and now UNSW claim a successful defense. UTS are gonna have to match, if not exceed, that energy on their own defensive capabilities right now, Tony, and I'm already liking what I'm seeing. You don't see this one too much these days, I'd say, but it does come out when it needs to, and that's the Wolverine.
Yeah, that's the dealer to, I guess, match the Magneto and Strange that are coming out here from the side of the UTS. I imagine we'll see Anthony once again on the Punisher. not really a whole lot of other things being changed up here. We're going to see Runk now to the Rocket Raccoon of all things. So UNSW kind of change and pace a little bit. We'll see triple duelist here. Single Vanguard, Lick and Runk going to be holding it down with Strategists. On the side of UTS though, now we'll get to see J-Sune with that Ultron lock that was available here. UTS will get to bring their own to the table. Of course, the triple Vanguard, triple Strategist, as we spoke about, really good at holding. We saw UNSW really hold that first point kind of well, and then I guess it crumpled a little bit, but I was going to say UTS, now it's their turn to hold. And what do they have for us?
Well, they're going to be hopeful that they have a lot, Tony. Could turn into a whole little. See what they are going to be doing right now, though. Muffin holding up. Ooh, good blockage there. Going to be blocking them off with the walls there, cutting up line of sight and allowing their team to ignite the flame with some bigger damage. There it is. Gas already taken out of this one. Frost they heave their way past as well. So a big boom of damage is already allowing them to force their way through.
Yeah, able to just kind of walk up and immediately take those crucial KOs. We saw Muffin really follow up. I was going to say Nuva just dishing out a ton there for Muffin to finalize those KOs, but well, UNSW, you're not met with the same presence on that defense side. Straight full behind them of all things. Indomie trying to snipe through the backline here with a side lock, but Muffin is holding a firm here, and we'll just look to block them off the walls as they continue to push the cart forward.
Going further and further along here, but you know what else could go further? And a Khonshu. They get too close, there could be big potential coming out of that right now, but it is going to be the Razor Ultron coming in from J-Sune right now. Strangling Prison from Muffin as well. They are bursting their way in. Anthony doing the best they can here, and UTS now starting to ignite things, starting to take some KOs back, but my goodness, this has been a tough fight, Tony. But at last, they find a moment's breath.
Yeah, I was going to say, very interesting approach there to that one from UTS. You know, they portaled behind, but UNSW, they kind of had the answers. Muffin just kind of walled them off. You had Frost just kind of holding steady with the shield, but they were able to stagger that fight out a little bit, find the crucial KOs necessary. But now we'll see ultimates online as well for both sides. Mega Hurricane going to be tossed out here for Yuang the Long, as we'll see Eternal Bond as well. Made of both worlds from Milk to keep everybody up and online for the moment. We'll see Aya Bagamoto, we'll see Hannah Khonshu dishing out some devious damage there, but the Aya Bagamoto in return, Dinosaur Pillow fighting Lick, and it is looking good now here for the side of UTS with the Dance of the Butterfly on top of the mission vehicle. They'll continue to try and find these targets. Yuang the One getting sniped out of air by Anthony. He's well immersed in that character themselves. And looking around the cart still, we're looking to see a push still happen here for UNSW. They have to deal with gas though still on the card.
Yeah, go deal with gas and a whole lot more, Tony. And we'll see what they are going to be able to do as they look to settle things back. Slow things down. Wait it out, but it's now time to elevate, time to inflate these plays once again. A Muffin strangling Prison online here, and see how they respond to this one, and will they be able to do more? Invisible Boundary coming up, strangling Prison online here. Anthony and Co doing the best that they can into this one, but it just ain't enough. Nuva, you ain't the one, are going to be able to shut them down piece by piece, one after the other here, and it's huge impact coming over the top, and they get the first checkpoint online.
I really like this adaptation for UNSW. I feel like the Punisher is just what they need right now. Some upfront presence, some upfront firepower, and of course, breaking down those Vanguards so well. Gas just kind of nullified out by the Groot, and of course, we'll see UNSW now start to push. And I was going to say, Matt, they don't have to go too far past the cap here. Only about a little bit before halfway, and we'll have to see UTS really come into fruition here. We'll see Bagamoto available for Dinosaur Pillow. We'll see a Mega Hurricane towards the backline, sweeping through. Lick will find Florence on the immediate KO. The Judgment coming out here from Uber, shredding apart the Vanguards with the help of Runk, and that will be UNSW capturing 2 and taking home Spider Island.
My goodness. Blink and you'll miss it type beat there, Tony, and UNSW will be able to push on ahead, tying things up 1 apiece into this best of 5 series here. Nuva taking away the MVP on the Punisher. Well played, well deserved there. They were tearing up the damage. Really impressed with how they progressed their way through that one, and honestly, you know, a standout moment that just speaks to me is when Nuva did his final judgment and then just pop their own and wipe up the entire enemy team. Just incredible how they navigated that duelist.
Yeah, absolutely picturesque performance out of Nuva as well. I was going to say, to follow up that same play was the final judgment that took gas out of the Magneto Meteor Ebb. So that fight just overall from UNSW was absolutely clean. But not only that as well, that follow-up in towards that final push was absolutely perfect. I believe Runt got 2 KOs in there as well. Just, you know, cloak and dagger things, of course, you know, dishing out all the damage after the Eternal Bond. And for UTS, they ran out of steam, right? They had no ultimates online. We, of course, saw the Eye of Agamotto not really able to be used there by Dinosaur Pillow because the fight was being won out so convincingly there from UNSW. And I was going to say, taking away the torch, a great adaptation. Anthony still earning SVP there for UTS, but felt like they were kicked down a little bit there by that band there. So smart call from UNSW, working with what they know.
Yeah, a plan the tried and a tested approach onto that one, Tony, and going to be able to zone things out one after the other. And very excited to see what else they are going to bring here, Tony. You know, both teams have got a slice of the pie now. Both teams have showed how keen they are to take this one away, and now it's all started all over again. You know, we could see some very incredible things on their way through, and I'm just excited to be along for the ride, honestly, Tony.
Yeah, it's an interesting ride, right? I was going to say, now we're, I guess, technically in best of 3 territory. The Knights, I was going to say, just started for both of these sides. And, yeah, I was going to say we've changed it up. And it's going to be interesting, right? Where we see now adaptations towards the bans, right? Because it just gets a little bit more harder for these teams to take away characters that are high priorities, right? We saw Torch be an absolute menace in that last one, so Torch be a menace in the first one. We'll see now Punisher, a little bit more of a priority now towards both of these sides. As yeah, we'll go to Convergence here, Clintar. Once again, Matt.
Yeah, time to go to the symbiotic surface there. So definitely the El Clasico tried and tested Convergence map coming through here, and very eager to see how both these teams do navigate the terrain. You know, if I feel like we could maybe see some similar plays, I'd say. You know, we saw the triple Vanguard setup on one point of the last map there. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe we saw something similar come out, at least on the defensive side here as well. But, you know, you don't know till you know, Tone. Obviously, we could see something entirely different, and I'm all for it. Maybe one day we see 6 strategists. Highly unlikely, but I think that'd be pretty funny.
Yeah, it feels highly unlikely, right? Just with all of the priors towards the bans here for both these teams. We're already seeing Torch, Jeff taken away, Ultron locked in once again for the side of UNSW. That one, I imagine, will go to Lick, unless somebody else kind of wants to give it a go, right? You know, we've been seeing Lick on that Ultron so far. And I was going to say, you know, maybe it's time we swap it up. As we said, UNSW and UTS are 2 of those teams that have shown adaptation is the key word to note. So, you know, maybe we give somebody else a go on the Ultron, as UTS really thinking about their lock in here. And none other than Ultron going to be taken.
Yeah, big prio on the Ultron once again here, Tony. And very eager to see how they will be able to treat it and what else is going to be exited. Well, no Mantis on any side of the map at this time around, and fair enough. But there's going to be more where that came from. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw, well, Torch and Jeff. There you go. No one gets to play Jeff, Tony. It's going to be just shamelessly banned away. Can't believe it.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate thing to see, right? I was going to say, Jay Sune brought that one out. Lord Jeff is something that's a whisper around the UTS camp. But of course, we're going to be seeing Magneto lock here for the side of UTS. Emma being taken away, so I imagine they'll probably just trade bans, right? Emma, then Magneto lock. I don't see a world where it changes here. Magneto lock and Emma ban.
Now
We're waiting for it. We're waiting for it. We're waiting for it. A little bit of suspense, but maybe I predicted it too early.
Wait for it.
Wait for it.
Holding. Oh, the tension's building up by the second here. Oh, it's not Emma. It's the Punisher.
Wow.
That makes sense though, Tony, because think about it. Nuva just ripped things up on that last map, and now only having one final judgment to worry about. That's a pretty big brain play, I'd say, coming out of the draft there.
Yeah, it's I guess I was gonna say an interesting one from the side of UTS, and of course we'll see once again Strangers, Magnetos, Storm, J-Sune. So a little bit of a swap up here for the side of UTS. But of course, for the side of UNSW, nothing really feels all too much changed. Just, well, I guess we'll get to see Yu Wang the Wong now on towards the Winter Soldier. So that's Frost on Black Widow.
Yeah, that'd be Frost on
That
Black
can't be.
Widow.
That can't be right. That can't be right, right?
If not,
Nah. Yeah. I'm just getting trolled, man. I'm getting trolled in the bands. I was gonna say I thought we had that. You know, there was. Oh, I felt like a lock-in. I was gonna say that just felt like the natural order of the picks and bans there, but well, we're changing it up. Nuva gonna be back on the Hawkeye. He's gonna be a key one to note. We want to see. I guess we didn't get to see all too much of the impact, right? Just that first fight there on that domination map, but you know, Nuva could be a key difference maker here, especially with the fact that we've seen J-Sune now opt towards the Flyers a little bit more. We'll see UNSW try to put their priority taking them out of the sky.
yeah, reaching up high. Let's see if they can take them out of the sky here. See what else they are going to be able to do. Ooh, Frost taking a lot of damage there. They are still going to be holding up front, still going to be holding it down, but they've got the high ground, Tony. They're looking to take control.
Strategist keeping everybody up and healthy for the moment, and we'll see UTS actually kind of back away towards the room. Dinosaur Pillow did opt to walk up. Turtle Bond already coming out here from Runt, so that one came out quite convincingly. But we'll see Yu Wang Wong immediately pop the Kraken's impact. Quick trades back from both sides. Visible boundary coming out here. And we'll see Eye of Agamotto too. This might send UNSW back into just a little bit. Great Eye of Agamotto over the top into the Maelstrom. Dinosaur Pillow shutting down that take there from UNSW, but they'll cap halfway, so they'll get a little bit of percentage to the board. But I was gonna say that fight looked good for UNSW to start it off. Kraken impact into the Eternal Bond, and it didn't really come to fruition after that.
Yeah, at least they took the mission area one tick over, you know? At least they've got that going for them, Anthony. That was interesting. Like, they're not going to use the turret. They're just, yeah, we'll ignore that. And they are going to be looking to press on and see if they can get a little bit more through this one, Tony.
Yeah, that was an interesting one, of course. Every day we get to see that, but yeah, we'll see UNSW try to take the same high ground here, but UTS are matching them on the high ground of their own. We've of course got Anthony just poking away, trying to get some bullets through here onto UNSW. You see Gas as well up on the front line. Meteor could be good at this close range engagement in these close quarters. We'll see Dinosaur Pillow, we'll see Fate of both worlds popped here for both sides. Milk immediately answering tip tap that one, and Song Inferno into the Meteor M, and there goes the Fate of both worlds. We'll see Final Judgment here coming out from Anthony, once again shredding apart these KOs. Looking for another on the Frost, maybe a fourth, but J-Sune will steal that one away, and Nuba is gonna try and run away. Once again, the Punisher being felt for both sides here.
That's it. A huge impact coming out from the Final Judgment there. You know, if you want to turn the tide of a team fight, that is one of the perfect ways to do it. Keep your Punisher up and healthy. Put the mag bubble on them. You know, get that Metal Bulwark up and rolling. then you're going to see your team find a full benefit out of that. But speaking of benefit, UNSW trying to find a benefit, pushing up towards the mission area right now. They have a big turret to deal with though, but no longer. And it's time to see if they can longer anything forward with the Psionic Seduction online.
Yeah, the Psionic Seduction pulling everybody off the high ground there. Gas and Dinosaur Pillar probably going to be taken out quite quickly there. Magneto immediately heading towards the backline. Cracking impact from Yue Wong to get the reset on the Gas. Looking for another on the J-Sune. Now goes up onto the high ground to try and take it Anthony. And the Punisher. Nova getting shotgunned in the face there. The KOs come back there. Milk News tries to get onto the point to stop the tap, but it is going to go UNSW's way. They'll continue to push, but all things considered, a decent fight, I was going to say, out of UTS.
Yeah, couldn't agree with you more there, Tony. I think they made a solid stand in the beginning there. You know, obviously, only have to deal with it for another 2.5 minutes, thereabouts. So, crazy work coming through from them. But they are allowing the mission vehicle to push it pretty far forward. So, obviously, they don't want to deal with the initial choke points. They kind of want to roll it back a bit where they feel a bit more comfortable. Now they are going to be playing a very boppy approach, I'd say, into this one.
Yeah, taking control of the high ground and immediately going to be stomping on through Lick, Runk. As well, the strategists getting involved. They'll clean sweep UTS off of there. And not having to expend any of the ultimates. Ensong, Inferno, Magneto, Meteor M just came up on for that last fight, but it doesn't really matter. UNSW continue to push. The portal comes through. Ipsony now with the final judgment to try and get UNSW out of there. They'll take out one Ensong Inferno to come through with the Meteor M that doesn't really do all too much. Ipsony was taken out of the fruition here. We'll see Kraken impact here for Yue Wong. We'll see Emperors. And we'll see the J-Sune, a Mega Hurricane coming through as they'll clean sweep the KOs. They're looking for the triple on the Lick. And UTS are able to hold that one with the portal play.
That's it. A big impact coming out from all of our players here on UTS. They hold it down and now have to see if they can do one of the same for the next minute and more. So, let's see if they are going to be able to kick goals with this one. If they can sweep it past and give it the very best they can. Posts are in line. Anthony ready, waiting to see if they can pump up the volume, pump up the damage here, and the damage is already coming through. Somebody has to break into this one though, Tony. Somebody has to deliver the KO blow.
Yeah, and we can see Nuba towards the back line here, just dishing out a ton of tags there, just trying to blow somebody up there. Ensong Inferno already up here with the Eternal Bond from Runk. We'll see Meteor M come out here from Gas to try and answer that Ensong Inferno. Nothing really hit all too much. It's been hold for so long. Nuba does hit the Skyboarder there, I believe, just can't quite sink it underneath. BkWhatOCE comes across from Muffin, but it's all the Kraken impact here. Yue Wong now with the final judgment out of Anthony. Meteor M coming out of Frost. It will finally hit its mark. It will also take out Floente. UNSW are able to continue to push their Matt. Beautiful patience now. I was going to say, even though that Ensong Inferno didn't quite hit its mark, the Meteor M definitely did.
Yes, it did. It managed to get the pop it desperately needed, and now they are going to be pushing this mission vehicle leaps and bounds above. But let's see what else they are going to be able to scrub through with here as the fight rages on. They're already halfway through towards the last mission area, the last checkpoint here. We'll see if they are going to be able to pop things up. They've got ults online for UTS. They definitely can press their way into it. Here we go. It's time for the bait of both worlds. There do have Agamotto available if they need it as well. Maybe there it is. They pop it right around the back there. Dinosaur Pillow going to be able to take down Runk and looking for even more. Lick going to be able to take things into their own hands with the ult as well. Omega Hurricane zoning them out, popping it in, and it's all the KOs going the way of a UTS right now.
Yeah, that looks like an interesting fight. I was going to say, UNSW really able to find that first KO on a Gas. The fate of both worlds came a little bit too late there from Milk, but they're still able to put their pressure on, and of course we'll see Muffin. I have Agamotto, strange portal through here, back on towards the mission vehicle. They're going to be taken up on the high ground here to try and get behind UTS, and they're probably not expecting this one. Das already down, the bulwark comes out, I have Agamotto comes across. Nova will be able to find Dinosaur Billow, and UTS now set retreating for the moment as overtime will tick here for UNSW.
Ticking over and kicking them into high gear here. It's make or break. If they lose anybody, it's going to be a detriment to their approach. They are so close to getting it over the line, but UTS, patience is everything. They wait for Anthony to be back online here. They've got Final Judgment, but they need to contest 0.70 meters. And it's time for the Final Judgment. Meteor coming, and they take him out. Anthony climbing in there, trying to find more. It's going to be Frost popping back with a Meteor of their own. They zone it out, push it over the line, and that is UNSW, Tony. Take it all the way.
Once again, a huge Magneto Meteor M out of Frost, just finding 2 KOs. And just when you thought that fight was all the way of UTS, right? That Final Judgment looks so good. They were able to find those initial KOs, but just beautiful play from Frost. Heads up there on the Magneto, knowing the high prio targets and finding them. And I was going to say UNSW, thanking their lucky stars, they'll be able to get the 3. Because now they have to deal with a UTS that's probably fired up that they lost that final one. They got 4 whole minutes to push and capture that first point. And of course, we'll see potentially some adaptations here. Of course, not going to be all too likely, though. I was going to say everybody kind of sticking with what they got. Runk, once again, on the cloak and dagger. And I was going to say Lick still rocking the Luna. So I was going to say, prior towards the strategist here for both sides, I find it interesting as well. UTS do have that cloak and dagger available if they want to, but I guess they prefer Fluente on the Invisible Woman.
Doesn't surprise me whatsoever. And see how things go. We'll see. They are going to be able to prepare for getting into this right now as the portal is in place. They are ready to give even more into this one. Ready to see what else they are going to be able to achieve here. Portal comes in, and now Muffin already immediate KO on a Jaisuni there, and we'll see if they can find something else through this one. Love to see a huge bionic hook if that comes off cooldown before they press into it, but we're going to press it into it. They are going to be a face-to-face right now. They've ran through the portal, and they're ready to get even more over the top, Tony. Here we go. Playtime.
Yeah, it was, I was going to say definitely eyes on the hook here, as we'll see UTS now wrap around on the high ground. Frost is in a little bit of a precarious spot, needs to regroup the squad. The strategy deals coming through here. We'll see Fluente now with the invisible boundary available here. We'll see Eternal Bond just a little bit late. Muffin is going to be taken out. Invisible boundary now for Fluente. UNSW are under fire. Ensong Inferno coming out here, as we'll see it hit its mark. We'll see Kraken impact. We'll see Frost immediately once again have the impact be known, and Italy is left running for the hills. They will stagger out this KO as long as possible. I believe that is going to be Lick coming out of spawn to take that one. And UNSW are able to hold it down there, Matt. A little bit of reverse switcheroo there to come out.
Yeah, going to be a run around there, but it's all going to work out in the end. See how things go heading into the rest of this one, though. Oh, Wakamoto pops up top. Meteor coming in consequence there. Boom! Anthony's down. A big hit coming out from Frost here, trying to target down the opposing Magneto as well. Going to be taking a bit too much healing, though. Maybe not. Trying to see if they can catch none other than Storm. But you know what's going now. It's time for the Omega Hurricane. Jaisuni delivers all the damage and then some. Powering up for their team into the triple KO. Looking for the quad around the back. They know Phoenix is there. And they get delayed KO there from the two-tap and Tony. Love to see it.
Yeah, beautiful stuff there. Final Judgment going to be popped as the portal comes through. Immediate stagger here, potentially here for UNSW as they look to charge on through. We're going to be seeing Nuba onto the Black Panther. We'll see Frost onto the Angela. UNSW are under fire now, and they're trying to stop this capture from coming through. And we'll see the kidnap potentially. We'll see Ewing along at the Captain America. It was a valiant effort, Matt. They stopped it at 99%, but UTS, they hold steady, and they will finally capture that point, and they'll look to push this mission vehicle.
And we shall see what they are going to be able to do into this one now. As they take it nice and slow, nice and easy here. Big hits are going around the side. Looking for even more big turret damage coming off top. Look at that, Anthony. Going to be able to pump things up a notch here, and looking to see what else they are going to be able to capture into this. Magneto, uh-oh, in a bit of trouble. Have to fall back onto this one, but they're maintaining their stance in the high ground here. They are looking to really give it their best.
Yeah, I was going to say, I kind of applaud over there, kind of repositioning perfectly there, blowing up Dinosaur Pillow, finding that quick KO. But the reposition was more than enough to get the damage out here, as we'll see now. UNSW put their best foot forward, they'll continue to walk it up. Beautiful blow up there with the help of Frost. And they'll find Anthony, and they'll stagger out this fight for a little bit longer here. UCS are going to have to retreat and think about what they want to do going into this next one, because we have all ultimates up for both sides, Matt. Oh my goodness.
Squadron assemble into this one. This is going to be a chaotic fight, if I've ever seen one, Tony. I think it's going to be a battle of timing. I'm all for it. Let's see who can take control right now.
Gonna take control right now. Mega Hurricane coming out, and Storm Inferno. The Hurricane's towards the back line. We didn't see the Hurricane quite do its mark here, because of course the makeup goes well from both sides. Magneto, Meteor, M out here. We'll see Kraken impact as well from Ewing the Long, trying to blow up the back line here. How has Ewing the Long gotten here? It's an E with the Final Judgment, trying to stop these Vanguards from walking up. Frost will give him what for, but it's UCS able to win it out, having to use 5 of their ultimates to the 5 of UNSW, and I thought UNSW, they could have come out on top there. They staggered theirs a little bit more, but of course the Ensong Inferno, the Meteor M, didn't quite hit its mark, and UCS will continue to push.
Continue to push, continue to pump it up. It's going to be Nuba finding the KO through on the gas there. Great start coming out for UNSW here. They need to do whatever they can to hold on to this one zone to see if they can zone things out, and we'll see what else they are going to be able to do. Into the rest of this one now, Tony, as it's time to give their very best time to fire up here, and let's see who's going to be able to land the next blow, because the time is trickling down, Tony. Oh my goodness, what a hook on a Jaisuni!
Yeah, that was a beautiful hook, but Dinosaur Pillow immediate answer there with the Eye of Agamotto towards the backline here. We'll see this boundary. We'll see a Mega Hurricane now, because we don't have any ultimates to keep everybody online and healthy here, but the fate of both worlds from Lick is so crucial on the timing. Kraken impact doesn't quite hit its mark. Ross still has that Magneto Meteor M looking for the dunk here onto Anthony. Damage is quite low, but Anthony is able to stay healthy for the moment. Final Judgment now coming out here, looking to spread through these targets. Lick is the first one, but that is the Eye of Agamotto. Stop there! He's going to be Nuba falling triple KO from the Punisher. And UTS will continue to push their beautiful triple to set this fight up for UTS.
Huge stuff coming out from them there, and there's going to be more where that came from, Mr. Tony. They are doing the very best that they can to hold on to this one and give their absolute greatest endeavor. Oh, portal time. Prime up, ready to go. UNSW flow it in, and Anthony's ready on the turret, but it's going to be shut down immediately.
Shut down immediately. Magneto Meteor M gas there, taken out. Run, that's the target you want to find. You're waiting along quite low, and Milk News is the one doing it all on the strategist here. We're going to be seeing Lick now try to get up on high ground. And Cap will go once again. UTS continue for a little bit more. We've got another minute 30 on the clock.
And it's time to get serious here. Time to prime up. See what they can do. What I do notice, Tony, we have a few things available. UNSW, very important. Having the Eternal Bond there, Kraken Impact as well, is a big difference maker for them. But continue on the final judgment. Here we go. They're coming online. They're zoning them out. The Vanguards are going down real fast. But no, they've managed to shut them down in kind. The counter from UNSW is tremendous here, Tony. They will be able to set them back in all the way back to spawn. And it's time for the reset. One final fight.
One final fight. Dinosaur Pillow. Portal's available. Eye of Agamotto as well. And they're just going to walk it up. Eye of Agamotto here as well. Start to come up online for UNSW. We'll see a Mega Hurricane as well for Jay Sune. We'll slowly approach this car with 14 seconds. Overtime surely going to come through. They will find Dinosaur Pillow immediately. UNSW, they don't even need to find the ultimates here. Fate of both worlds out of milk. Eye of Agamotto into the end zone. Inferno. We'll see it all pops here. Magneto, Meteor M, and it will see Nuva. Gas will be able to fire one back in the Hurricane towards the back line. It will sweep across the side of UNSW, and it will go through the portal for just a little bit longer. UNSW is still trying to fight this best fight forward. UTS, though, are still fighting these KOs. They will find Muffin, they will find Frost, and they will continue into overtime.
They will continue in OT. Oh, big Bionic Hook is in trouble. Going to use whatever they can to get to cover. They will be able to sneak away, but not for too long. Going to be trading out the KO onto Nuva, though. And looking for more. Frost diving into the back line, trying to stall the mission vehicle here. They can only take so much damage, though. And Anthony is bringing up the final judgment. Powering over the top. Damage is coming in waves here. Vanguards are down. Everybody's going down right now. UTS are on the comeback express. And UNSW need to find a way back in immediately.
And they'll find an Eternal Bond down a run to touch on towards the mission vehicle. And we'll see those HP bars now blow up here. UTS, they need to come in and come in strong. Eye of Agamotto over the top. It's going to be Feast the Abyss from Frost. It is going to be invisible boundary though from UTS to keep everybody online for the moment. We'll see UNSW still try to hold it down here. Only 3 left on the mission vehicle. Dinosaur Pillow. Gas, they're holding on for dear life. But the fate of both worlds, and UNSW will be able to hold it down at 2. UTS will fall, and UNSW will be able to take game number 3.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Cannot believe what we have just witnessed there, Tony. Just taken aback by how incredible that was, and look at that. MVP are coming out to our strategist lick there. Huge stuff on the Lunar Snow. Definitely a well-deserved, Fate of Both Worlds. One of the most important ultimates in the game right now, I'd say. Even if it got nerfed, the timing of it got nerfed a little bit, it's still crazy. It's still one of the most important ultimates that ever was and ever will be. There's no taking that away. There's a reason why, it's priority around some of these higher impact strategists there, and there's going to be no exception. What a tight-knit match, though, Tony. You know what that means? It means that UNSW are now going to be onto series point. I cannot believe this. Insane.
Yeah, on the cusp of greatness. As you said, MVP deserved by Lake, but my SVP goes to Frost, right? Those absolutely huge Magneto Meteor M's keeping UNSW alive for so many of those pushes, and as well-deserved SVP there for Anthony. I was going to say so many final judgments that just hit time and time again, shredding through UNSW. But I was going to say it all came down to that final one there on the mission vehicle. And I guess that's the pleasure of playing the defense side there for the side of UNSW on that map. And Matt, I was going to say we'll get to see a little bit more. But UNSW on the cusp of taking this one. We'll find out just after a break.
Welcome back, everybody, to the AEL University Elite Series here with our playoffs. It's UNSW taking on UTS for some marble rivals, thrilling action, and we are in the deep end of this best-of-5 series here, Tony. You know, we saw the first map go towards UTS there on domination. They kept it competitive, kept it cool, and they managed to take control. But UNSW have taken the last 2 in a row consecutively. All they need is one more map in order to claim their place into the grand finals, Tony. Can you believe it?
It's been absolute insanity. I was going to say there's just been such a change up in the momentum here for the side of both teams. UTS, I was going to say, as you said, came out to a hot, roaring start there on domination. And then we saw the other Clintar map go UNSW's way. We saw there on, I was going to say Clintar as well. From the side of UNSW, were just able to get it across the line there. But it came down to the wire. One fight that could have went UTS's way, and we could have been seeing an overtime there.
Yeah, we could have been seeing an overtime. We might see one into this match with a sub coming in. A Gas is going to be subbed out. Mickey is going to be playing in now. So great to see another player on deck this time around. You know, we got a bit of a change up. And what better fitting a place than the Empire of Eternal Night. It's Midtown. Going to be our map here tonight, Tony. And very eager to see how that's all going to play out. You know, we get to see a bit of Herbie action. Or, no. Not Herbie.
No.
What am I talking about? Not Herbie. It's Ratatoska. We're saying Ratatoska. I got to... No, it is Herbie.
It is Herbie.
Yes. It is Herbie.
Yeah,
now I'm getting my maps confused.
It's a lot to keep track of, Matt. I was going to say there's so many beautiful maps in this game. But yeah, we're going to see Herbie mission vehicle here for Midtown Convoy. And of course, into our picks and locks here, picks and bans, as you say. And yeah, I was going to say the prio here might change up a little bit. As you said, we've got added substitution here from UTS. Mickey now in the mix instead of Gas. And that might change up the play style here from UTS. I was going to say on the back foot, right? UNSW on series point potentially here. If they come out to a hot start here on Midtown, we might see some changes in the play here from UTS. Mickey as well is one of those guys that can play Venom to the same extent that we saw out of Gas, that we saw out of the rest of UTS's players. So, you know, it doesn't feel like they're substituting all too much. Maybe, I was going to say, just needed a fresh outlook going into this next map.
They need a fresh perspective. And we'll see if that is going to be tested coming into this one now. As seeing very similar kind of draft at the moment. You know, Torch going to be taken away from Anthony. Runks, Jeff taken away. We're seeing the priority over the Ultron and Mantis going bye-bye. And more Jeff and Torch to be taken there. So just stock standard picks, techs, bans, whatever you want to call them. They are going to be a lockdown right now. And see what the next ban is going to be, as Magneto has been affected by UNSW there. Nemba Frost will be taken away.
Yeah, I was going to say the potential again, Matt, to be all-knowing and all-seeing. Will we see Maglock here for UTS, and then Emma, I was going to say, taken away. Maglock, once again, we're at the same situation we were before, right? I was going to say, it's just about whether UNSW want to change their priorities a little bit here, because of course now with Mickey in the play, they can look to maybe ban them out here for the final one as an unexpected, but go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and it will be Punisher.
Heroes could make all the difference.
Yeah, Punisher has been punished. They are not going to be playing into this matchup right now. So maybe we see them if it goes map 5. Big if. We'll see. We'll see if UTS can turn the tide onto this one and churn through a victory going into their favor, as a lot of work to do and a lot of sights to see. But, you know, I'm already seeing some good potential coming out for both sides into this one. I like the idea. Captain America and the Thing of all things coming out here. You know, I think there's a big impact to be made, but thing not going to be coming out today. What we're seeing is
We'll be coming in 30
Triple Vanguard,
seconds. Stay strong.
Strategist, and that's a big lineup you can get out of this one, Tony. You know, it's great to peel the mission vehicle there and just stall out time as long as you possibly can, and it just makes perfect sense on the defensive side.
Yeah, I kind of, as I was going to say, I believe I spoke to in a previous week, was the Ultron and Captain America. I guess it's not a team up, but it feels like a really good thing, right? You just put the heel on top of Captain America, and you and the Ultron are able to just kind of dish out so much damage there and dive so heavy in towards the backline. Captain America, one of those characters that's very hard to hit, but also a lot of HP to deal with here. So UTS, they're going to have to be on guard. Mickey onto the Moon Knight here for this one. It's going to break out those walls here, but still UNSW. It's that first KO out of Nuva here on the Ultron.
Yeah, solid start there coming out on the Ultron, and we'll see. They are going to be able to catch it more over the top as well. Big catch there. Dwayne the Mon still going to be online though. Anthony not able to find as much as they would like out of this. Dwayne the Mon waiting to bounce into the back line as well, but it's really stalling things out. Nuba, big Rage of Ultron coming through there, trying to dish out a ton of damage while supporting their teammates as well. There it is. Blue Influente, so the invisible boundary is immediately nullified there. UTS though, who managed to find a way back in with the hand of Khonshu there. Anthony finding some impact as well, but Nuba is still kicking here. Will be forced off now, however. The rest of their squad has fled away.
Yeah, immediately answer though. You see the cogs are turning for both teams, right? Portal straight away, no hesitation here from UNSW. They immediately want to stop this mission vehicle from going anywhere. There's 2 minutes 30 on the clock. UTS though were able to win out that fight. Last stand coming out of here from Anthony, trying to shred apart these vanguards, but it is going to be Frost fighting one onto Anthony. Runs with the Eternal Bond to walk them back up onto the mission vehicle, and they'll take space comfortably when Nuva is controlling the skies and everybody here on the low ground. UTS is sent back to their spawn for the moment. They're going to have to adjust.
Gonna have to adjust, gonna have to deliver and see if they can do just a little bit more, but it's time to assemble. Time to see if they can catch more of this one. It's a come over the top there, one after the other. Bouncing their way in. Vicky does have Control online, might not be able to use it though. Invisible boundary coming up. Muffin gonna be able to double down there. Big Meteor doesn't go the distance though. They are forcing them back. They are doing a great job of that, but still so much more to be desired here, Tony. So much more to do.
Yeah, and I was gonna say anticipating the Khonshu there out of Mickey, but it just didn't quite come. Great Agamotto there from Muffin to try and stall. Bring that fight out there, and of course with the Maelstrom to follow up. Muffin always a treat to watch for on this Doctor Strange, as we'll now see eyes on Jaesune with their Mega Hurricane towards the back here. Lick trying to keep Runk healthy, Runk trying to keep Lick healthy. Jaesune will sweep through on towards the Vanguards because they're not the targets here of priority. Rage of Ultron coming through. Khonshu doesn't quite find its mark. Mickey once again missing the final hurdle. We'll see Yuang the One once again diving on the KO quickly onto Mickey, looking for the strategist. Two Milk News is under fire. Another Maelstrom out of Muffin, and once again this time ticks down for UTS.
It ticks down for UTS there. They're in a lot of trouble. Tony, UNSW have got the recipe and it's working out a treat right now. See if they are going to be able to find a way in though. UTS to work hard for this one. Freedom Charge coming in right now. Yuang the One are trying the best to jump through the back line here. See if they can carve their way through. The Fate of Both Worlds will come over the top with even more than just that. Ensong Inferno, but it just don't matter. Runk delayed on the attack one, but Meteor coming through from Frost as well, and they've found Fluente. This is huge, Tony. They are paying dividends on this one. Holding on tightly to the mission vehicle. If they get off, this could be side switched.
Yeah, this is going overtime. Yuang the One will stop Milk from touching, and anybody at all just trying to get on towards that cart. We saw Mickey swap to the Magic, and A flawless defense out of UNSW. Rage of Ultron after Rage of Ultron. Yuang the One just drawing all the attention, right? I was going to say, Yuang the One didn't really need to do anything. With the rest of UNSW, Muffin, Maelstrom, Ayabang, and Motos were absolutely perfect there. I was going to say, we now have 4 minutes for UNSW to push. I believe it's like 70 meters, man. It's like nothing at all.
There's not a lot of things to cover there, Tony. Not a lot at all. And if I was UTS right now, I would be terrified of what's ahead of them. You know, they are going to have to really put in the hard yards in every way, shape, and form here. It's going to be a difficult endeavor, and I'm just scared of the composition they're going to be facing off against as well, to be honest. You know, they've got Frost jumping out on the Wolverine. They have the Panther from Yuan the One. They've got the GRB Beacon coming out for a runk there as well. So even if they get taken down, they can just come back, move on the Hawkeye. Like, there's a lot of frontal and medium distance power coming through from UNSW here. And it certainly could be enough to force their way over the line.
It's a very crucial thing for UTS right now to play for, but of course the cart is secured to capture it, and the push starts to come through. Mickey might be trapped on the spawn gate for a little bit there, dishing out a ton of quick blows there. Nuva will be able to find the first, looking for a second onto Mickey. Yuang the One once again towards the back line already, and it is starting to push here, already halfway for the side of UNSW, and we aren't got anybody here for the side of UTS. Jay Sude now under fire against Yuang the One. He will be put down quickly, but the KO comes back from Nuva, and this card is almost a completion, man. UTS need to do something.
Do something quick, smart. Frost's going to be able to take out Anthony there. They're doing their best to stall it out, but it just ain't working right now. Mickey going down, everyone going down. Put 72 meters. They're on it. They're on it, and they're off it. It's going to be UNSW locking down, locking in. And that will be all, Tony. We have our first grand finalist.
Absolute domination. Nuva on the Hawkeye to claim that MVP, not getting KO'd, no casualties to their board, and victory ultimately earned UNSW. They dropped that first map, Matt. I was going to say they looked a little bit worrisome going into this series. You know, they brought the Hawkeye especially to deal with that high ground there on that first map of Celestial Husk, and then UTS were able to just bounce back, claw into this one. Then we saw the change up. We saw the adaptation. UNSW like, you know what? Punisher's pretty good. We saw Punisher be an absolute threat for those last two maps they were able to claim. And then it all came to fruition here in the final one. Absolute domination there on the defense of Midtown, and a well-deserved spot for UNSW in the grand final.
Yeah, couldn't agree with you more there, Tony. You know, really great to see that they've been able to lock down, lock in, and give it their absolute best there. So, very well-deserved victory coming through, and that is going to place a UTS into our third place matchup coming at us next week. But UNSW, you know, they got to think about who their opponent's going to be out of our next matchup tonight. You know, I'm curious to see if it's going to be Monash or RMIT, because they've got a lot to prove against either of those squadrons.
Yeah, I was going to say our next semi-final is going to be an absolute bloodbath, and yeah, look out if you're UNSW, because of course I imagine RMIT, Monash, probably one of the teams that want to take them down. You know, UNSW's been the heavy favorite so far throughout the season. We've spoken to them time and time again, and the confidence is just flowing here, and you can see what happens when they're on their ball, when they're on their A game. They're able to snowball these leads and really find the fights that win them out these games, and I have to give them credit, right? They didn't fold under the pressure, right? You know, just when we thought Anthony on that Punisher was being an absolute threat, UTS, you know, they had a quick substitution here, gas out, Mickey in, and it didn't really feel like it did all too much to UTS. They still feel like the team that was getting beaten down and battered and bruised here by UNSW.
Yeah, definitely still felt like that team there still felt primed up looking good to go, and we'll see how things go. Getting a fourth into the rest of this, Tony. You know, I think UTS, they're no pushover. I think that they definitely have a strong capability as well. Obviously, weren't able to activate to the level that they would have liked heading into the last 3 maps there, but definitely, I feel like they're going to be able to bring some really big power into our third place matchup next week as well.
Yeah, it should be, I was going to say, a crazy one to look out for. I was going to say, you know, as we said, the top 4 here in the playoff bracket, and I was going to say, really anybody's grand finals to take and anybody's semi-finals to take. UNSW, I have to give them props, Matt, you know, changing up the compositions a little bit. We got to see a little bit of flexibility out of Nuva. They're bringing out the Hawkeye. I was going to say, you know, one of those unsung heroes that we didn't get to quite see from UNSW throughout the season, and, you know, that's kind of what got them across the line. Some pocket picks like that.
Yeah, really big power, really big potential coming out from them there. So a big shout out to them for giving it their best. And speaking of giving it their best, we're going to hear from the best of the best, Jeff, right now. It's Runk!
Hey guys, what's going on?
Oh, not much, mate. Really great to have you on board, and big congratulations to you and the team first and foremost. You've made the grand final, and did the series go exactly as you expected it to?
It was a little bit tough to begin with. I think we were looking to take out Ultron as the first ban on the first Dom map, but it looks like that Anthony was able to carry enough with his torch. So from there on out, we decided to ban that, and things went pretty smoothly. The only other thing we had to anticipate was Storm Punisher, but I feel like we handled it well.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. I was going to say, looking back at that last one, Torch was definitely a high prior there. Glad you guys were able to identify that and take it away. Going to the Storm Punisher, I was going to say, very much impressed how you guys maneuvered that one. What was the composition like, and what was the adaptations that were made for the team there?
Adaptations, we're looking to play 2-2-2, and just to have good spacing so we can kite, and then good ult usage so that we don't always have to match 1-for-1, so we can get an advantage that way.
Yeah, great to see you guys were able to adapt and conquer there. And I guess looking confident tonight, you know, with your team as well. And do you think some of that confidence is going to shine through into your other endeavors, into Ignite later into the week?
I certainly hope so. I think Frost and myself have our first game Thursday for Ignite. Lick will also be playing his team. We'll be playing at some point there as well. So we're basically, everyone's scrimming pretty hard, coaching. We're trying to make the most of it and see if we can get to China. That's the main goal.
Yeah, that's it. Definitely eager to see how that plays out and see if you guys can make it through to Atlanta. But one more question for you, Runk. If you do face off against Lick, you know, is there going to be a bit of rivalry coming through there? Because you guys play together here?
Nah, it's all good. We're friendly. We've been together for a while. We participated in the first season of AEL together. We played on I think we played on Ignite together the previous season as well. But he's got a very good team, so we'll see how it goes. We'll see if we can both make it to playoffs, because we're in opposite groups to start with.
That's good. Well, best of luck to both of you in that sense, and really appreciate you coming on board with us tonight, Runk.
Yeah, thanks very much, guys. Thanks for your work.
Good. Great to get Runk on board there, Tony. And yeah, just always appreciate our players' insights. But we're going to set things up for Series 2 right on the other side of this one, everybody. It's time for a break. welcome back, everybody, to the AEL University Elite Series here with our Marble Rivals playoffs. It's Matsy and TwoTapTony going at you with our next series of the night. It's going to be Monash and RMIT. But before we get into that, everybody, we want to say a shout out to the ones we know, the ones we love, our sponsors.
Absolutely, Matt. AGON by AOC, the #1 gaming monitor brand in the world. AGON by AOC provide the best in-class monitor solutions for gaming and all other needs.
That's it, and a big shout out to HyperX and Officeworks. Power your game with the latest HyperX gear at Officeworks. Push performance to the limit with the latest in gaming tech. From high spec to precision gear, Officeworks has what you need.
And of course, last but not least, Indomie the Noodle partner, made with high quality flour and selected ingredients and spices. A plate of Indomie meringue will certainly brighten up your day. Try any one of the flavors available today from your local grocer or at indomie.com.au. Again, Matt, love our sponsors. Couldn't be possible without them.
That's it. You know them, you love them, we appreciate them, just like we appreciate our next two teams, Monash and RMIT, coming at you with our next semi-final. And it's going to be... Ooh, we had a little prediction there, Tony. We're leaking the script.
There we go.
Just teasing everybody. It's going to be the next best of 5 on the horizon, the next series to decide who will be joining UNSW in the grand final. And this is who's going to be playing tonight.
Yeah, for the side of Monash, it's Genzo, Wosh, Dixon, 99, Joji, Student, and Fivont. RMIT, it is Anager, Smiles, Kyrie, OTR, not Otter, Kero, Insert Coin 53. Matt, I was gonna say we know these guys pretty well at this stage. You know, you've spoken to Smiles several of times. You know, he's had several birthdays. He's getting old. And for the side of Monash, of course, a lot of familiar faces as well. This is gonna be an absolute bloodbath.
Yeah, I feel like at this point, Tony, Smiles needs like a Benjamin Button effect, you know, and needs to run back the clock, you know. So instead of 100, he turns 99. It goes all the way back to 1, 0, and then the cycle repeats. You know, I reckon that's what Smiles needs at this point with the amount of birthdays he's had, Tony. You know, I think that could be the play. But you know what else is going to be the play? It's going to be domination coming at ya. It's time for the Celestial Husk. Here we go again.
Yeah, once again, back to Celestial Husk. And it should be an interesting one because, you know, we saw a little bit of a change-up in, I guess, the strategy from UNSW UTS that I imagine we'll probably see from RMIT and Monash here, is playing for that high ground there on that first point. And I was going to say definitely a lot of high priority towards the picks and bans because I was going to say Monash and RMIT are two of those teams as well that can play a lot of flexible stuff. I feel like Monash more than RMIT, I was going to say we've seen a lot more unique character picks, and I imagine, of course, the Angela definitely thought about it here as well from Monash.
Yes, I think that there's going to be some great thoughts coming out on that one. You know, it would not surprise me if we saw the return of the Wosh coming out on to the Angela there. We've seen some really great potential from them last week, but whether they bring it out again this week, I think is going to be a big test. You know, I think if they're confident enough in the composition, then definitely wouldn't be surprised at all. Like I've seen, you know, the Monash guys have been practicing, playing a lot together in the queues through the week. You know, I think that they've been, definitely putting in the hours there to really give it their best. And I'm sure it's one and the same from the RMIT side there as well. You know, strengthening that team cohesion, and one and the same, immediate torch ban. We are not going to be seeing any torch today, but there's still the Phoenix open, so the flame hasn't gone out completely yet.
Yeah, I was going to say the torch bans are telling for both of these sides, right? I was going to say it feels like Monash can play it pretty well, RMIT can play it pretty well. It's just an overall strong character at the moment, and we got to see that really come into fruition in our last semi-final here. But I was going to say, curious to see what first locks are going to be. Lunar Snow here for RMIT, so don't mind that one. I was going to say RMIT really like to play around the Lunar Snow. Magneto into the cap lock here for Monash is one that I probably wasn't expecting, Matt. What about you?
Yeah, I don't know about that one. Yeah, I'm kind of taken aback, but you know what? It makes sense to keep the cap online because that's what WotOCE is most known for here. So definitely need to see how that plays out. Maybe they're just kind of baiting it though, Tone. You know, maybe they're toying with the idea that he could go cap. Could happen, but you know what's not happening? Iron Man.
Yeah, this is. Yeah, sorry, I'm still taking it back about the cap lock here. Iron Man taken away here from Monash, so they don't want to have to deal with the team up. We'll see Luna lock here for both sides, and I was going to say as well, an interesting thing to note is Smiles won't be stuck in mag prison. I was going to say one of those things that he spoke about last week is being stuck in mag prison, but that won't be online. I was going to say neither team will get to play mag for this one.
Yeah, I think they've found the key this time, so that's going to be lucky for them there. But we'll see what they can do. I can understand the Iron Man ban to an extent, you know, because they kind of don't want to deal with that character if they play into something like the Angela, for example. But we'll see how things go. Emma going to be locked down now for RMIT, so. Probably good to get that one through, but there's one more ban awaiting its activation. One more ban to break out of the source here, and I would expect it to be a further strategist at this point, but yeah. There it is. Ultron, see you later. That's going to be locked and loaded, so definitely curious what they are going to bring into the mix here. Looks like WotOCE is already hovering over the cap there. Very decisive picks to come through from Monash here. RMIT getting some good hovers through as well. I'm already liking what they're cooking on both sides, Tony, but we'll see which one's bringing out the best dish. The best dish.
I was going to say it's, I feel very interesting that you both, I was going to say, taking away the Iron Man and the Ultron. So, very interesting prioritizations here from the side of Monash. We'll get to see them bring the Emma to play. Joji going to be on to the Black Panther. So this might be an explosive one to start it off here, but whoa, she's trolled us, Matt. Hovered in the, I was going to say locked in the Captain America for a bit, but we'll be on to the Penny to probably start this one off. RMIT, though, we'll get to see, I feel, some comfort picks for them. Smiles is going to say been playing a lot of Emma recently when he's let out of mag prison, and Ninja's been playing the Venom quite well. But as well, Kyrie, OTR as well going to be rocking some of their comfort picks, right? Kyrie onto the Psylocke, OTR going to be onto the Punisher. And Monash are going to have to be on high alert to start this one off.
Yeah, no doubt whatsoever there, Tone. You know, they're going to be have to really stay on high alert. Bring gameplay into work here and see if they can swerve their way through a little more where that came from, as going to be looking to catch some damage around the side there. Choji immediately deleted by OTR. Genzo gets a good trade on the Air Ninja though, but look at that. OTR is just tracking him down, playing the cover, and just locking down these KOs right now.
Yeah, looking very sturdy right now. I was going to say nobody dealing with OTR. I was going to say Joji fall early. WotOCE still on towards the strategist there on the back line. And OTR just dishing out a ton of punishment here with the Punisher. As we'll see another on to Joji. And we'll see Genzo under fire here. Just Monash looking a little bit staggered to this approach. RMIT taking up all the space for free. To roll on through here. It's going to be another out of OTR under 5 on there. I'm just going to continue to walk it up, staggering out these KOs slowly but surely. I don't imagine Monash are going to live this one down for a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be living that one down for a while, but see what is going to be lived up right now. Oh my goodness, Joji gonna entirely deny that final judgment there. It's going to be all favoring Monash right now, and Dixon gonna burst around the back line as well. Eternal Bond coming online from Keto here, so they should be able to keep control of the mission area a while longer, honestly. Having that healing burst up, but Student one of the same has brought up the healing for Monash here, so They're looking at Clash, Crackening, back coming out, but the timing's not so great. Insert coin 53, Fate of Both Worlds. Miles has the Psionic Seduction online as well, but no one is able to take full advantage of this. Well, until now, Dance of the Butterfly coming out from Kari there, hitting them with the 2-tap, and they're going to see if they can take some more.
Beautiful staggering there on the KOs there. You saw the Feast of the Abyss comboed with Clary on the Dance of the Butterfly. Just so much upfront burst that Monash weren't quite able to deal with. Now they're set packing once again. Percentage climbs for RMIT up to 70. Well, of course, Genzo with the Psionic Seduction available, but RMIT, they did use all their ultimates in that last fight. They're going to have to be careful going into this one. 5 up as well with the Fate of Both Worlds could be absolutely crucial here in keeping everybody alive.
Yeah, it's going to be a big pressure for Fjoven here. We'll see what they can do. Genzo are going to be able to bring out the Psionic Seduction as well, trying to track somebody down at least. Oh my goodness, they can't get the catch, but at least they can force them back for the time being. And Ninja going down as well. Dixon 99 locked in here. Joji wanted the same. Lock them up and crash them down. A huge KO potential coming out from Joji and Co here. They are pumping up the damage numbers, forcing them back as far as they can. RMIT, though, they're still sitting comfortably. They are losing a few more casualties, albeit, but they are on 96%, so one more great fight, they might just be able to push it over the line.
Yeah, they're able to cap the percentage here, and I was going to say an interesting thing we didn't get to speak about is the Captain America and Winter Soldier team up that we haven't, I was going to say, get to see in what feels like forever, right? I was going to say I don't believe we've seen it at all this season. Roche now will be under fire. It is going to be Judgment, Eternal Bond, and everything coming out here. Dixon as well going to be popping that one in return. Into coin 53 will be taken out. Dixon still doing absolute punishment here with this Punisher. It's the Butterfly from Kyrie, doesn't quite find anything here. Fate of Both Worlds with 5 just to stay healthy here. Joji popping some shots away here on towards the back, and it is going to be Monash stabilizing here for that fight.
Stabilizing and looking to give it their absolute best, but Dixon 99 has gone down. There's going to be an opening available for RMIT right now. Genzo taking a lot of hurt as well. Will manage to fall back though. Now Dixon back online as well, but here we go. They're diving into it, and Ninja going to be on top of things here. Fate of Both Worlds coming out. Freedom Charge one in the same, and Ninja not going to be able to get the benefit of the healing, however. That's going to be a big problem here, Tony. Speaking of, cracking impact. Doesn't get anything. Oh, Joji! No!
That is absolutely unfortunate there for Joji. Smiles able to capitalize off of a bad situation here for Monash, but Psionic Seduction might be good for Genzo. Walking up these strategists for just a moment. Piece of the Abyss towards the backline here. Genzo has lost their entire team in the process, and RMIT will be able to cap it back here. 99 to the full 100. Nobody can touch here. Joji, not a chance in this lifetime. And the first point of Celestial Husk will go RMIT's way.
That they will. The hand is now closed and the codex is open. RMIT off to a great start here, but they're going to have to deliver more where that came from, Tony, and we'll see if they can do it. Getting into the prep phase right now, it's time to get serious. Time to give it their absolute best. And so excited to see exactly how they choose to achieve that. You know, I think that there's great potential already from both sides there. We've seen both teams take advantage of the mission area, build up percentage really, really well, but we'll see who fares best coming into this next one, as we got 2 parts on both sides of the Attack of the Clones team up there. You know, it's going to be Psylocke, the Emma Frost coming out. There it is again. Little Squirrel Girl. Joji's just teasing us. And now it's time. Mission area unlocked on the way.
He's having a little bit of fun with it. I was going to say, Joji, a guy that can kind of play a lot of different things, right? We saw Winter Soldier, we've seen Black Panther already so far. So Psylocke for this one to try and match the Psylocke coming out of Kyrie. And it's interesting, right? I was going to say both teams kind of rocking the same duelists here, almost the same strategists as well. You see Joji dish out a little bit of punishment there, able to hop on top of the healing bubble from as well. The Eternal Bomb coming across here from Carol. Final Judgment not quite doing anything here, because Dixon's trying to reposition here to get the best output from that ultimate, but Joji was able to snipe. Eternal Bomb come across from Student. Moshi is still slinging haymakers here in the front line. It's all the KOs being staggered out. It's Student picking those up there in the cloak form, and it will be Monash tapping the point slowly but surely.
Slowly but surely, they look to bring up the power, bring their absolute best, and we'll see if they are going to be able to hold on firmly to this one. 3 ults online for Monash right now. RMIT pretty close to a 4, as a matter of fact. But here we go. It's Death of the Butterfly coming around the back here. Joji not catching anyone as yet. Chokeslam round. Joji gets out somehow, some way. Fate of Both Worlds coming out on both sides as well. Wosh still playing around the Freedom Charge here too. Trying to pump up the damage for their team. See if they can clash their way in. Ooh, they almost stole it away there, the mission area, but it ain't happening. You know what is happening? Psionic Seduction straight onto those strategists, not catching anyone yet. Oh, there we go. They do find Smiles, though, so not a strategist, but they'll take a Vanguard.
Yeah, they'll take out Smiles there. That Psionic Seduction was available as well for Smiles, so unfortunately, Eternal Bomb coming across here for Kero. Kero softening up the strategist right now. Kero just trying to find 5 in there towards the back here. Everybody getting healthy. Strong 5 on there, but it will be Kyrie, it will be Air Ninja, and it will be the point back to RMIT. So great stagger on the KOs there. They did find Smiles, as you said, for Monash, but everybody else was alive and ready to fight for that point capture back.
Yeah, alive and well and ready to spell trouble for their opponents, just like the Final Judgment right now, but they've actually played this super well. They've evacuated immediately, avoiding the lines of sight where they take maximum damage here. And it does just barely work out there. I thought they'd get at least 1 KO, but RMIT navigate that well, get a KO back in their favor, and take advantage with the Psionic Seduction here. So well timed, but it looks like things might turn back to Monash in a second if they keep up like this.
Yeah, OCR, though, will be able to pop the Final Judgment, looking for the Fate of Both Worlds on the 5, and Genzo will be able to find the stagger quick back trades here from Monash, and we'll see Dixon come alive for a few more. Joji was up on the high ground, taken out by Kyrie, but immediately answered back by Genzo, and Monash will continue to push that point forward. A well-placed fight, I was going to say, for RMIT. Felt like they had it. The judgment came up from OTR at the crucial timing, but Monash just able to stabilize there. Now we'll see 93% here, and just try not to get staggered out for the moment, but will have to try and stall this point out because the percentage is picking up, and we're in overtime here for Monash.
Oh, yeah, everybody's dancing on the butterfly right now, and Joji is going to be able to grace us with a quad KO on that one. Looking to see if they can get the penta, but it ain't going to happen. So, what an amazing way to decode the codex. And now, once again, Tony, we drag it to all 3 mission areas here. It's time to open up the vault again.
An immediate answer back from Monash there, and I was going to say it all came off of... I feel like Joji Stylic was an absolute unsung hero in that one. You know, we were speaking about, you know, Genzo, Wosh being the vanguards that we need to see out of Monash. We saw RMIT kind of stay with the same things that they'd been working for them, and it just felt like such a scattered approach there from both sides. I was going to say not what we expect to see out of these two teams' caliber, but we'll now go here to the vault map with, I was going to say Genzo, still with the Silent Seduction available, and RMIT, of course, Eternal Bond, close to coming up here for Kero. And I was going to say, it's probably, as you know, we heard from our interview, it's about playing around those ultimates and the economy with the 2-2-2 that you're bringing into play.
Yeah, you're going to really have to bring the best quality you possibly can, aren't you, Tyrant? And we'll see. He's going to be able to do that as Joji right now is locked in. Trying to get the damage over the top there. Does have a few problems to worry about. Ooh, and Ninja has been spotted by Wosh as well. Protect the back line, but here we go. Dixon 99 bringing up the Final Judgment again. Genzo's already gone down. Insert going 53 there, and they found Dixon. Huge shutdown onto the Final Judgment, and that is going to be the mission area cleared up. RMITs are for the taking. Wow. What a way to react to all that, Tone. They are going to be on top of the world.
Good.
Yeah, I was gonna say one of those fights once again that Dixon's trying to play the positional spots, but a map like Clintar Domination, it's so many weird angles to fight through, so many nooks and crannies, and so much cover that I was gonna say Monash are able to play around, but so are RMIT. We'll see Judgment out of OTR. We'll see Psionic Seduction here from Smiles, and we'll see not a lot netted once again from the final judgments here from either side. And Ninja quite low, taken out there by Joji. Quick KO back answered by Monash, and they might be able to try and fight for the point here with that quick KO.
Yeah, they can definitely keep it competitive if they manage to take advantage of this one. But Joji down to the butterfly, slice and dice through the strategist. They find two there, and their team cleans up the rest. So great work coming out from Monash here. Will be able to claim the mission area back in their favor. The percentage goes up and up from here.
Yeah, finally able to build some percentage to the board. For RMIT though, ultimates now start to come online, and there's some highly impactful ones. Dance to the butterfly for Kyrie could be absolutely good in shutting down an early aggressive push from Monash as they try to play for the higher ground here. Both teams identify that this is the spot to play for. Joji take it out low, KO'd there on the invis from Kyrie. Beautiful read as now they'll look to take onto the point. Dance to the butterfly going across, and it will sink so much damage there. Dixon trying to live for so very long, but the KOs are coming for RMIT, and they'll capture the point back. A beautiful isolation there onto Joji.
Progress has passed the halfway point.
That it is, Mr. Tony. Big isolation, and they are going to be able to take advantage of that. But RMIT still got a bit more work to do here. One and the same Monash, all the ult to build it up right now. And here we go. Dixon 99 playing around. Awoke here to have Final Judgment into the Freedom Charge and looking to barge in. See if they can catch anyone around the back. Big damage onto the Eternal Bond. It is not enough, and they counter with a Final Judgment of their own. This time, though, the damage works out. They've already picked a KO through, but that could be all they wrote there. Dance to the butterfly from Joji. Not finding impact either. Genzo at least has the Psionic Seduction, but even that might not be enough. Here we go. RMIT take control, and will look to roll through these offensive pressure right now. The staggered KOs are taking them over the line, and that would be that, but no! The stagger, the stall! Ooh. Here we go, Tony.
There's the strange portal coming out from Monash. They're just trying to scatter back to the point. Feels so out of line from them, and RMIT are able to win it out there. A huge feast to the abyss, and I was going to say the double KO from Smiles, stagger the approach back there. RMIT, what a first point to take there. I was going to say they lost that second one, but of course, insert coin 53 with some great Lunar ultimates, keeping everybody healthy there. RMIT draw first blood.
That they do, Tony. They draw first blood and will be able to flood ahead of this one. So, great way to kick things off in a match here. They are going to be able to take advantage and will be able to cement their stance in the lead right now. So, hard work pays off. Certainly going to be happy with that, Tone. But we'll see how things adapt, how things change heading into the next draft phase here. You know, we've seen a bit of priority over the Psylocke pick, over the Punisher there. And they're able to really take those duelists leaps and bounds ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like Monash and RMIT were watching our last series like, damn, that Punisher guy, pretty good. We want to bring that one through. And I was going to say, Dexter99, OTR piloted it pretty well. Joji, Kyrie as well. Beautiful Psylocke play coming out of both of those two. It felt a little bit, I was going to say, miscoordinated in some of those fights from Monash. I was going to say, not what we were expected to see out of them. Even the fact that, of course, the Strange was taken out of the picture, but it was only for RMIT. I believe Monash still had the Strange to come to play there if they wanted to portal back to the point. And normally you see Monash kind of go for it, right? But, you know, maybe a little bit of miscommunication. RMIT, great pickup there. And I was going to say, just to draw back on that last point, that Strange was actually taken away by RMIT. So Monash didn't actually have the ability to do that one. So unfortunate for them. And well, for RMIT, a well-played game overall.
That's it. Really well played, and it is going to be their power put on full display there. Love to see it, and there's going to be more where that came from, Tony. More to be answered or to be delivered in towards our second map of the day. But, you know, I'm excited to see if there's going to be a bit of a comeback from Monash there. I feel like there's definitely potential, a bit of power, but RMIT, they managed to get the upper hand early on, and that is so critical, so advantageous for them to get the momentum up at this point of the day.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. I imagine we'll definitely probably see Punisher ban potentially for both sides, but I was going to say the way the bans went a little bit interestingly for both of these teams, right? RMIT taking away that Strange, as we said, because Monash are one of those teams that we've seen time and time again throughout the Uni League are one that like to portal in your face. And RMIT is the same, right? Both these teams kind of very similar in their approaches with the Strange. So RMIT identifying that one super, super well. I was going to say, Monash, what do we see them kind of change out here going into Hellfire Gala? Because, you know, Convoy is one that allows a lot of different playstyles to come to fruition here.
Well, yeah, that's right, isn't it? You know, we've seen pretty commonly tonight, triple strategist, triple vanguard setups, especially on the defensive side there. And it's just been great playing stall comp. You know, that's it, just stall comp. And it's hard to break past it. You know, unless you can shut down some of those strategists, it's almost impossible to see that one coming through. But, you know, Tony, I think that we could be seeing something incredible coming through before our very eyes, before you know it. You know, I think that,
Incredible Hulk?
Surely.
Surely.
Maybe only in my ranked games. But we could see the Hulk. You know, I think that with the new addition to the Gamma Squid team up, it's definitely possible. I mean, if they play into the Panther, but obviously they're thinking there's more higher potential things to, you know, be bold to brew up the best possible potion here.
Yeah, brewing up a good potion here. Monash immediately, once again, we'll just see bands of Torch for both sides taking them away. And, well, Magneto going to be locked in this time for RMIT, so we'll maybe probably see Smiles once again in Mag Prism. But I was going to say, Editor can also bring that one into fruition as well. So, you know, it's not just Smiles that is going to be stuck in Mag Prism, but Monash, interestingly enough, Matt, they might be listening in. Punisher going to be taken away.
Definitely makes a lot of sense. I mean, we saw the potential come out from OTR into the last one. They don't want to deal with that. And I think RMIT probably will be pushing in the same direction. You know, having that final judgment available is too much, but their focus is on the Ultron right now, and I kind of commend them for that, you know, because obviously they can afford to be a bit flexible here. They don't want to worry about the Rage of Ultron ultimate there. They want to take it easy. Am I going to be banned out, though? And same with the Luna. RMIT are taking advantage of the road ahead of them here. You know, I feel like they've realized there could be a bit of potential around that Punisher, and they're looking to just take out some of the other priority picks here. But no, it's going to be Cloak protected this time. They want to at least have the Eternal Bond online, and I got to commend them for that, you know. Set your priorities straight through into this one. See what else they are going to be able to bring as RMIT now ponder. How do they respond to this? What else can they take away from them? It's going to be the Strange again. We saw the advantage of that in the last game, Tony. I respect it.
Yeah, you know, we were left baffled. We were like, oh, Monash, surely they portal back to the point, but then we realized it's not actually available. They don't have the Strange to get back. So RMIT, I feel like maybe taking away a crucial piece in the playbook here from Monash, and we'll see Luna lock as the final one here for RMIT. And, you know, I was going to say, once again, kind of sticking with what they know here in the picks and bans. For the side of Monash, what is the last priority? They took away Punisher in the change-up here, locked in the Cloak and Dagger for them, and they'll also take away the Strange. So, I like this one. I was going to say, this is a little bit of mind games going on here as we go into Araco Convoy. This should be an interesting one, because RMIT, they'll get to rock with the Ultron map.
That they will, Mr. Tony. So they're going to be able to spill a lot of damage onto the field here, and very eager to see if they can yield the results they're searching for. Because they got to bear in mind, they are going to be dealing with some very highly capable tracking players. You know, I think they're really going to have to play semi-defensively even around their corners, you know, really not leave themselves exposed for too long at all, because otherwise I can see already, I can paint that picture of Dixon99 and Joji shutting them down entirely. And the big impact of Joji, especially on the Winter Soldier, is they've got that hook available. They could literally pull something like an Ultron out of the sky and straight to being grounded, but we aren't seeing Ultron early here. We are seeing the rocket of all things. BRB beacons abound.
Yeah, triple strategist, double Vanguard, and it is going to be OTR bringing it out. Going to be teasing us a little bit maybe with the rocket just to give everybody a little bit extra armor, as we'll see that one on Kero. Kero is, well, the mission vehicle will, it's not a vehicle actually, that's a friendly little tree walking at the moment. A lot of damage being dished out for Joji. RMIT, they're staying healthy. Ed is just on top of all five of them, actually, there towards the high ground. And just dishing out a little bit of damage here for RMIT, so.
Yeah, looking to dish out the damage, see if they can pump it up a notch here. And, ooh, big dive into the back line there. Kari going to be down for RMIT, though, so that's going to be a bit of an issue. TR, big pressure on trying to deliver the damage best that they can, but no one is really going down, and Genzo is ripping up the backline right now, so really great to just keep that frontal pressure.
Kyrie, though, they want to find a sneaky little KO there on the Dixon, so this might let RMIT walk it up a little bit further. Of course, after Genzo's triple KO, we'll see Dance of the Butterfly now online here for Kyrie. And Monash, they're being ever so vigilant about it. We'll see Air Ninja as well jump on through. And Dance to the Butterfly will soften up some targets, but not quite find the KO blows here. We'll see Genzo as well. We'll see a lot of ultimates now popped here. Smile's going to be using that Magneto Meteor M. Not quite finding its mark. I believe Solar Surge came out of Kero as well. RMIT and Monash just trading ultimates right now. We'll see Dixon find OTR out of the sky. Roche not quite able to find anything. And some Inferno on top of everybody here from RMIT, but they're healthy. It's the fate of both worlds came out from Insert Coin, and they'll continue to slowly push this cart forward. But Monash, they want to fight for it right now.
They want to fight valiantly along. They want to give it their absolute best here, and it looks like they might just be able to do just that.
Oh.
Kari, I thought, would slip away, but not away from Joji. They are locked into this one. We'll be able to shot them down promptly and see what else they can achieve here. OTR does have Age of Ultron online, so it could be a way to cleave up the front line here, but I mean, they need so much more than just that.
Just look at how much punishment Smiles is taking there. Just trying to walk up here. Because we'll see Kyrie cap the card to go a little bit further. We'll be able to slip away. Monash, they are now under fire. Rage of Ultron into the Soul Resurgence, into OTR, flying all over them right now. We'll see Kyrie as well. To the Dance of the Butterfly online. Genzo will be popping the Silent Seduction. It's going to be Smiles as well with the Magneto Meteor M. Trying to sink it here towards the backline with Kyrie. Genzo as able to find two there towards the front side of things. And this fight is a scattered approach here. Joji will fly on in with a Kraken impact to try and dish out some killing blows here. Wosh will be able to not find anything with the Magneto Meteor M. And the fight is stabilized here. Monash are still able to hold.
Still going to be able to hold. They're still going to be able to do what they can and see what else they can do right now. They hold the back strong, strangling prison. Not going to be able to achieve much at all. The healing impact just do great there. Speaking of impact, it's the end song Inferno coming out. Bjoven going down with Genzo there and more to follow. This is the OTR special on the Ultron right now. And this allows RMIT to clean up and go over the line.
Yeah, able to continue the push forward here, and Monash, they'll show some adaptation now. We'll see Dixon over towards the hell up. Not really all too much else being changed up here. I was going to say Genzo, I feel like he's a little bit too far forward at times, right? Finding those double KOs, but there's no follow-up from the rest of Monash. They need to really tighten up the comms here if they want to stop RMIT from pushing. OTR once again just dishing out punishment from the skies here on the Ultron. Also Kyrie as well up on the height, just trying to soften up Joji for that KO blow. Dixon up on the height still as well. Needs some care for the Kyrie. We'll see Soul Resurgence, and we'll see RMIT now walk it up. Eternal Bond in return here, and we'll see Smiles as well looking for the Meteor, not quite able to find it across the back line, a little bit too far forward. Psionic Seduction here from Genzo as Monash now wants to make their mark.
Make their mark and lock it in. A big choke slam coming out. Genzo taking advantage here. Still pumping up the damage. Going to be blocked off for a second longer. Still going to be able to hold on to the fight though. They will be able to stagger things out for a time, but there's always going to be more time where that came from. More things to do here, Tony. Could see a dance coming through very soon.
Yeah, it's been thought about, heavily considered here on the side of RMIT, because Monash, they have the winning floor, right? They've got the presence, they've got the pressure now, as we'll see it finally pop into fruition here on top of the Rage of Ultron from OTR. It's a lot of dishing of damage, but of course 5-on with that invisible boundary. That is a beautiful strangling prison from Eden Jones. RMIT clean sweep everybody aside from Monash. It's just Genzo walking out of spawn, as we'll see RMIT capped to another 2 minutes. They'll even get the stagger onto Genzo.
My goodness. Can you believe what we have witnessed here today? Incredible efforts have been put on full display here, and they've been able to push this one over. Second checkpoint with grace. We'll see if they can clear some more space from here though. Joji's gone down. Trade onto Smiles. That's great from Student there. See if there's going to be more where that came from, Tony. It's time to get serious. They've almost made it halfway towards this next checkpoint here. 3 ults for Monash could be exactly what they need, but they're trying not to activate them because they realize they still have a little bit of time on their side, but starting to lose KOs now. This could be a waterfall waiting to happen.
Karen out with Soul Resurgence pick on a Joji with the help of Kyrie on the 5, and this is all looking like RMIT once again in this fight. As you said, you know, those ultimates being held onto for so long here. You just want to see the pop. WHOOSH with the Magneto Meteor M trying to snipe out OTR in the Rage of Ultron. We'll see Dance the Butterfly too. We'll see Monash set back in the spawn. Final Judgment trying to walk on out of here, but it's a double from Smiles with the dunk coming through from the Magneto Meteor M. OTR fighting Student and Joji, and RMIT will be able to cap all 3 with 49 seconds on the clock.
Huge stuff coming out, Tony. They are going to be able to take it all the way through, and they're going to be very, very happy with that. So, let's see what else they can find here, Tony. Let's see what else they can achieve. Coming forth into the fray as they look to play into what they know, what they can do here. Let's see exactly that, Tony. Let's see what they can do. These characters before us. A little bit of a change up coming out from Monash there. And Joji looking to bring out the BP. Maybe we might see a Bruce Banner yet. Unlikely. But we can dream, Tony. We can dream that they get that little BP bubble. We can dream.
I was going to say, I
30 seconds before you
feel like at one stage we saw either Genzo or WHOOSH bring that one out, but you know, they're a changed fella. They're a changed man. Monash, though. They've got 4 minutes to get all the way through, of course, with extra time. RMIT, I was going to say, it feels like a very funnel in on OTR and Kyrie being your key playmakers there, but I was going to say Air Ninja is what really brought them across the line. Some beautiful prisons there in some of those fights that just kept RMIT able to push here. So we'll see now Monash attack side here, and they'll see if they can put their best foot forward here on the mission. Vehicle Kyrie, he's got to sneak by enemy lines. Nobody really spotting him for the moment. will be able to fall back to safety.
They certainly are, Tony. They're looking to see if they can garner more attention out of this one, garner more potential. Joji, sneak around back. Everyone are looking to push up front though, and RMIT, they're doing a great job to stagger things out through towards the choke point. You know, no one's really able to get past them as yet. I love how the attention from OTR as well is just swinging around in response to Joji trying to dive the backline.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's the side of coordination from RMIT. Joji immediately just trying to get on towards the strategist and make something happen. We'll be able to find Kyrie at least, range of Ultron into the strangling prison on top of 3 there. Beautiful picks from RMIT once again. And it all comes to fruition here. Again, the strangling prison into the Rage of Ultron combo is too much for Monash to deal with. You know, Joji did find that entry pick there on the Kyrie, but it doesn't matter. The rest of RMIT are able to hold strong. Now we've got 2 minutes 40 to play with Monash. They have ultimates online. We do have the Kraken impact here for Dixon. Live on Invisible Boundary, Student as well, Eternal Bond, but Kyrie now will have the Dance to the Butterfly available, and immediately to start this fight out, it's Eternal Bond for Student.
And it is Tony, and it's going to be Dixon 99 saying goodbye there as well. And there could be much more where that came from. Little boundary coming up. Sonic Seduction into the fate of both worlds here. And their best to see if they can capture something through. There we go. Kari bringing out Dance of the Butterfly. Fiovin's gone down with Student there. Double strategist. See you later. Basta set coming on and coming off. Goodbye to Joji. And goodbye to many, many more as they are fighting for dear life here, Tony, but RMIT are just on lock right now.
I feel for Kyrie right there, getting pulled on top of 3, and I was going to say coming towards an inch of the KO there. But Kyrie able to get out, and now RMIT once again. We've got the Strangling Prison, we've almost got the Rage of Ultron up. Both of those ultimates coming online at such a crucial time. But Monash, they will be able to walk it up with the fact that RMIT probably want to play a little bit more scattered in their approach and a little bit slower in the style. We'll see Strangling Prison into the Rage of Ultron once again, blowing up this back line, and there goes the strategist. No ultimates available here. This is RMIT's turf. And they're looking to stagger out these KOs. It's 2 from Kyrie, and now just Wosh left to pick up the pieces of an already obliteration fight from RMIT. Monash, they've got a minute left to play with, Matt.
Not much longer at all here, Tony. Rise up or fall down. We'll see who is going to be able to capture something through into this next portion as Monash are struggling to find the answer. They seek into this one. RMIT are playing together as much as they possibly can here. Smiles, one and the same, are holding up the front line. Genzo's down. Uh-oh, there could be more where that came from. Big isolation with a wall as well. They're hunting down Joji here, trying their best to shut down that duelist, and they will succeed. They've still got more where that came from. Rage of Ultron pumps up the damage in the front line, forcing the stagger. They have to wait for Joji and Fiovin to come back online. No! They've lost Dixon 99. This is devastating impact happening to Monash right now.
Absolutely devastating here. Magneto Meteor M on top of the wall there to try and sink the fight there, take out the KO. It's going to be Kraken impact, but it's a KO to start it off. We'll see Kero, we'll see Kyrie as well. Soul Resurgence, Psionic Seduction here. We'll see Invisible Boundary, but we'll see Kyrie bouncing around there with the Butterfly. And it is going to be fate of both worlds, just for good measure. RMIT don't allow Monash to take anything there on the points of Convoy.
Woo! My goodness. Can you believe what we've just witnessed there, Tony? I can't believe it at all. Incredible stuff coming out there, and they are going to be very, very happy with that. Very, very happy indeed, and very eager to see what else we might find through into the rest of our endeavors here, Tony. Is what an incredible matchup.
Yeah, I was going to say, very well played. You know, the SVP over to Genzo performed pretty admirably, all things considered. That was a a clean domination convoy there from the side of RMIT on Hellfire Gala, and I was going to say Air Ninja with the combos from OTR. I was going to say, I feel like it's a shared MVP, right? OTR got it, but Air Ninja more deserving of that one as well. I was going to say just beautiful coordination from RMIT, and that's what we expected to see, right? As we said, Monash and RMIT are two of those teams that have been adapting week to week and showing stronger performances. And RMIT, well, they're one away, Matt. Already 2-0 here in the best of 5. That is not what I was expecting. I was hoping to see a little bit more out of Monash, so, you know, hopefully they're looking to bounce back and go into maybe reverse sweep territory, because they're going to need it right now.
Yeah, definitely facing their fair share of troubles tonight. You know, I'm not sure how they approach the rest of this one. Like, it feels like they're trying to activate, but they just aren't able to go the direction they would like here, Tony. It's definitely been a fair share of hardships for them into the series so far, and already RMIT have taken it through towards series points. So, Monash, it's now or never. Make or break. You make it happen, you will claim your spot to try and become the 2-time champions here. But if not, RMIT will be punching their ticket through to the grand final. And it's definitely going to be a very testing environment right now. You know, RMIT are one step away. Monash need to take 3 maps in a row, Tony.
Yeah, and if anyone could do it, I feel like it's a team like Monash. But I was going to say, we've been speaking about Monash's downsides. RMIT have been playing lights out so far this series. I was going to say just the comms are flowing, the coordination's looking good, the target focus as well. You see Air Ninja immediately pop ult, OTR immediately Rage of Ultron, blowing up 3 crucial targets there in so many of those fights there on this convoy map. And I was going to say as well, going back to domination, the target focus was astounding to see from RMIT. So look to see them put their best foot forward going into our next one. Because, Matt, it's going to be Convergence, and it's going to be an interesting one. I was going to say there's a lot of different styles of play. We saw Clintar, of course, in our last semi-final. I don't imagine we won't get a mirror. I don't think we'll see double Clintar tonight. I was going to say just the way things worked in terms of the domination picks. But yeah, Convergence should be a different flavor here. But I was going to say RMIT. I was going to say, I don't really have any words of advice for them. Just kind of keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, keep on keeping on. I think it's going to be the little motto there, Tony. And we'll see exactly what they are going to be able to do into the third map, you know, Convergence. Curious which one it's going to end up on, you know. Maybe we go Burn to T'Challa. Maybe we run in an entirely different... Hall of Dajalia, my apologies. So maybe we go somewhere else. Well, there you go. I was on the right track. You know, I was thinking Wakanda, and there you go. It's going to be the Hall of Dajalia. So great to see that one coming through there. Yeah, I like it when we go different directions all through the evening, Tony. You know, it's like we're going to different chapters of a story in that sense. Always great to see the various different maps get picked out, like the latest map, which got revealed today. Heart of Heaven, the new Convergence map. Get keen for that one when it does get added into the pool from the 25th, I believe. 28th.
Maybe the 25th.
I think it's the 25th.
Yeah, actually, yeah. The 25th sounds more like it. I was going to say the 28th feels like a mile away.
Get keen for that. That's right on track for Ignite later, so get keen. Definitely excited to see that one get played out. But speaking of getting played out, Tony, it's time to get things playing out in the Hall of Dajalia. Time to jump into the draft phase here. Let's see how these teams are going to go right now. Let's lock and load.
Yeah, I was going to say, again, to speak on RMIT's togetherness. I was going to say they've been hovering the same things in pick and ban phase here, so maybe that's come to fruition. We'll have to, of course, pick their brains a little bit about that one if we get them in the interview, or if we get Monash, of course, with the reverse sweep. It's all on this one, really. The prios, once again, towards the torches for both sides. RMIT going to be locking in Smiles once again, probably going to be on that mag. You know, he spoke about hating mag jail, but I was going to say sometimes as a mag player, right, you got to enjoy hitting a juicy meteor onto two crucial targets and kind of really winning the fight for your team. So mag jail, but also sometimes feels like a mag heaven here for some of these Vanguard players. But of course, Luna being taken away for the side of RMIT by the likes of Monash. They'll lock in the Magneto as well. So so far, very stock standard. Nothing all too crazy here for either of these teams going into this convergence match.
Yeah, and you were talking about Mag Heaven, Tony. Well, you know, maybe we see Heaven falls with an Angela coming in to the mix here. I would love to see it, but we'll see what that is going to look like, as we are not going to be seeing any Ultron this time around. So, great to see that one get taken advantage of, Mr. Tony, but let's see what the next set of bands are going to look like. Both teams need to lock it down. They will indeed. So, goodbye to Luna. Goodbye to Ultron. Goodbye to everything in between. And say hello to our next save here, our next protect. It's going to be the TwoTapTony special.
TwoTapTony's Luna Snow? The Cloak and Dagger.
Sure.
Of course. Yeah, gonna be locked in.
There it is, Tony.
There it is. Yeah, you predicted it. You predicted. You're like, I was like, I don't see Cloak and Dagger on here. What are we talking about? And then Monash able to read it. RMIT, what do they adapt here for their final pick and lock? I was gonna say there's a lot of different things you can ban out here. Strange, yeah, kind of stock standard, right? Do we see lock onto the Emma? I was gonna say Emma's kind of floated through the back end here of this pick and lock here for both sides. So yeah, this is a pick and protect here. Very interesting one. As we'll wait to see what the final ban and pick is. Going to be Strange locked in for RMIT. So no Emma Frost this time around. I feel like we're going to be magging and stranging our way to victory here for RMIT.
Strange and on it, love to see it, and we'll see what they can do with that one. You know, I think having the Strange available is going to be great. You know, I think that it's going to be greater than great. But see what they can do now. Coming at ya with the Dixon 99 on the Punisher. No, maybe not. Yes, it is. And we are seeing Air Ninja back onto the Venom as well. OTR coming at you with the Punisher. So, final judgments abound or not? Jeff time? Hello?
OTR.
Hello? OTR?
We're getting pranked. We're getting pranked, man. We're totally getting pranked. For the side of RMIT, gonna be bringing out the Iron Man potentially, yeah. I was gonna say interesting prioritization for the side of RMIT, you know, bringing into fruition the Strange, but not gonna really be bringing it out. I was gonna say I don't think they want to play it off rip, right, on the attack side here of Convergence. No. They just kind of want it there available if they need to portal back, as we've seen for both these teams throughout the series. I was also going to point out that, you know, WotOCE's been playing a lot of different things. We've seen a lot of flexibility from WotOCE in the Vanguards, but he's stuck in Mag Prison. And I feel like that's really telling of Monash's mental state right now. He is having to lock in. They're having to put all hands on deck because they are currently down at 2-0. Is staring down a potential RMIT 3-0. Portal to start it off here for RMIT. They'll take the high ground.
Take the high ground, take the low ground, and see if they are going to be able to push their way through here. And Ninja tries to stack up the damage. Getting pretty close to a Maelstrom, almost 100 there, but still holding firmly. Still looking to give it their absolute best.
And Ninja taking quite a bit of punishment there. OTR trying to dish out the damage back here. They're being very vigilant about clearing this backline. Joji down to 19 points of health, and he's going to be hunted down there. It's going to be Air Ninja actually picking that one up. OTR was trying to find it as well. So I was going to say, RMIT staggering their approach here towards the point. They will pull WotOCE back in. Beautiful invisible boundary as well from Insert Coin 53. And Kyrie will be able to find Student. And that is going to be RMIT. A little bit slower than they probably would have liked, but they'll cap this point and they'll look to push. Kero able to find Dixon there on the stagger as well. The Monash are bleeding a little bit early on already.
Yeah, really are struggling on this one, and we'll see if they are going to be able to find a way back in sooner rather than later, Tony, as things are definitely spicing up for RMIT with a quickened pace here. And here we go. It's now, we're going to take great haste with the final judgment coming out. They're trying to clear some space with this one, but it's not really getting much of anything, is it, Tony?
Yeah, not finding any mark here. We're going to see Kyrie pop the Squirrel Girl ultimate internal bomb coming across here. And Kyrie's in a little bit of a rough spot, a little bit too far forward. Magneto Meteor M out of WotOCE. It will not quite hit its mark. Nothing finding any sort of value here. Joji Dance the Butterfly with Dixon follow-up. Will finally be able to find the KOs here that Monash so desperately needed. They burnt so many ultimates in that engagement. KO onto Insert Coin 53. Monash will be able to find a fight that they're able to win.
Yeah, going to be very happy with that, Tony. Finding one that they can actually take away, and going to see if they can do even more than just that. Let's see. Things play out. I think RMIT have got a lot of potential, you know, to break into this one for Ultimates Online right now, and could be tracking well towards even more than just that. They utilize them effectively, but I mean, Monash, they're getting closer to some ults as well. They are cutting a fine line here, and see who debates first as the Feast of the Abyss comes online. Gonna see a lot more where that came from. Final judgment and more. Oh my goodness, poor Dixon, immediate KO. It's OTR stealing the show here with the final judgment. Rip and tear onto the Penta KO. What a way to get that one done.
Absolutely beautiful stuff out of OTR as we'll see. RMIT continue to push this mission vehicle that little bit further forward. Joji and Genzo, those side seductions available into the Dance of the Butterfly, but it is just going to be Smiles soaking up all the damage. Insert Coin, WotOCE will be able to find Smiles actually. I believe OTR's up on the high ground here. You have to be careful, right? I was going to say, a map like this allows the Punishers to play up on some slippery angles here. RMIT, though, set packing for the moment just from the Joji Genzo combo. Monash will be able to stagger these KOs as well. RMIT now looking to group up. They do have Dance of the Butterfly. We've got as well the Soul Resurgence out of Kero. WotOCE, he's got that Meteor M available, and I don't imagine he's going to not be popping that one without an impact.
I would imagine that would be the case either, Tony. I think there's going to need to be an impact at this point, and Kari going down. Be the impact they were searching for here. And they do have Soul Resurgence online as well, but not really finding exactly what they need from it. Big choke slams coming out here as well, but just aren't able to scroll past at this point. Monash doing a great job to hold Burnley onto this one. Nice KO onto Smiles there, looking to catch even more, but they will be able to slip back with the zip line. Everything's A-okay for RMIT right now, but maybe not in a second. Final judgment online on both sides again. You know, the battle of the Punishers in that sense, and I don't know who comes out on top in these bouts.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. I was going to say OCR's had impacts, Dixon's had impacts as well. Magneto Meteor M available for WotOCE. Kyrie looking for the Dance of the Butterfly there onto some very squishy targets with the Feast of the Abyss from Air Ninja. It is going to be a combination of epic proportions. We'll see Invisible Battery as well to keep everybody healthy and online as RMIT find the fight necessary to capture this cart here. They just have to stagger out that final KO. And OCR with the final judgment just looking to stagger out more KOs here. But RMIT, they'll cap the point and they'll get the time.
That they will, Tony. They will be able to get the time and push it over the line there. Checkpoint locked in, and It's onwards to the final stretch here. WhatOCE and Co are trying to lock in the damage. See if they can do a bit more than just that zone. And are going to be holding it firmly onto this one. Dixon 99's gone down. This could be the opening they were hoping for here. They slow their road a little bit longer here and see if they can deliver as damage is coming in, and we could see a KO alongside it, but for now, RMIT smooth pacing around the sides, and it's Genzo with a Sonic Seduction to try and destabilize.
Butterfly in Final Judgment, every ultimate will fly. Smiles with the Dark Goddess student. Eternal Bond now gone here. Dixon trying to find some sort of impact, but Dance to the Butterfly with the Feast of the Abyss on towards the backline, shredding those HP bars here for RMIT. They'll look to fire WhatOCE. He'll get his leg back there onto Kyrie, but of course now Air Ninja has to deal with Genzo because RMIT, they thought they won that fight out, but all of a sudden their backline's gone. Nobody's pushing the cart, and WhatOCE are able to find the fight that pays them dividends.
Dividends are going to be paying off 1-by-1 here. Ooh, and there could be more where that came from. Joji looking to take advantage here, see if they can get some more damage over the top, but nothing further will come from this. They have been forced into the retreat here. See if they can do much more with the tools at their disposal. But you got to build up to more very quickly. Speaking of, Genzo is building up to so much already, ripping things apart for RMIT right now. They don't have long to get on top of this, Tony. You could see the last moment Strange, but there it is. Miles is locking it in, taking advantage of the Strange here. Final moments. It's time to deliver whatever they can. Go to safe distance. And there we go. Oh my!
It is going to be Final Judgment through the portal, just trying to rip apart these members. WhatOCE will go for the dunk, but it doesn't matter. OTR is shredding from that portal. Dance to the Butterfly coming across from Joji, finding 3, the triple KO out of Joji. As overtime will tick in, Ninja will fall, and so will all of RMIT. WhatOCE aren't going to allow them to cap all 3. Soul Resurgence doesn't matter from Kero. It will be stopped at 2. WhatOCE with a beautiful hold there at the final mark.
My goodness. At the final stretch, they were able to lock it down and nullify the attacking presence of RMIT there. So, at least they cut off the distance right before it managed to get any closer towards the end of the road here. But now it's time for RMIT to change things up. See if they can do whatever they can onto the defensive side here, and definitely keen to find out exactly which way they are going to be going with this one.
Yeah, some great adaptations from WhatOCE there on that final mark. I was going to say, just really answering. I was going to say, just when I thought the portal from RMIT was so good, we saw OTR let loose there with the Final Judgment, but it didn't quite hit as hard as it would have liked to, right? You know, Genzo was getting shredded. I was going to say, I believe the other Vanguard as well, WhatOCE, was getting shredded by OTR, but the rest of them, I was going to say, just didn't quite find the mark. The Dance of the Butterfly and the Feast of the Abyss combo that was so good for RMIT to continue that push just didn't quite happen that time, so they'll show some adaptation. They'll swap some things up. Now OTR going to be over to the Phoenix on this is a very interesting spot in the high ground here.
All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
I'm liking what I'm seeing. You know, they're trying to dish out damage from a distance and not expose themselves to getting KO'd by the other side. So definitely commendable. You know, just maintain course here. Don't go too deep. Just really just dish out what you can at a safe place there. And see if they are going to be able to hold on. Yeah, as it's going to be a long battle ahead of them. That's for certain.
Yeah, this feels a little bit scary. RMIT, they're taking a lot of damage early on there. I was going to say, though, Kyrie swapping over to the Jeff here, so everybody's staying up and online, but they're looking to be walked on here by WhatOCE, as they'll just put the pressure on once again. Smiles down low, topped up by the Jeff at a distance there, just dishing out so much healing, but as well the damage here. Then Song Inferno coming out from OTR, 5 as well with the invisible boundary. Insert coin 53 did bring theirs to the table as well. We'll see Goddess of Death coming out here from Dixon. Everybody sent packing here from RMIT. The fadeaway shot there from Dixon. Kyrie just trying to keep everybody healthy at a distance, but Monash will be able to cap it here unless Ninja has something to say about it. It's the Abyss to try and stagger out these KOs, try to stagger out this fight here. Jeff Time going to come out with the Meteor coming from Wosh. This could be absolutely huge. And it will swallow up the two. The Meteor doesn't quite hit its mark, but everybody is back for RMIT now onto this point.
Oh, here we go. Smiles bringing out the big bop there. They won't be able to get much from it, but you know what else is coming out? Fist of the Abyss into the Eternal Bond there. Ghetto has gone down, and Kari to follow. So strategists are offline. Vanguards are slowly coming offline. Everything's offline. The power's gone out. We get back to the drawing board here. Monash send it to the convoy section of this map.
Help get that vehicle to its
And
destination.
they continue their best foot forward, and we'll see the team up activation now as a lot of swaps happening here for RMIT. Kyrie off of the Jeff and Ninja now to the groups, and OCR of all things going to be rocking with the Adam Warlock. So I was going to say, I believe the team up there with Metsus available for RMIT, and we'll see Genzo try to put their best foot forward. Has to pop the shield there to try and get out, but they will isolate the fight there. A little bit overzealous maybe from Genzo. And a lot of healing needs to come through here from RMIT. They need to stay healthy. OTR walking it up there, dishing out the damage. Kyrie is quite low there, up on the height. They're losing out the fight to Joji. In some of these engagements, Psylocke v Psylocke just favoring Joji for the moment, but as to say that, Kyrie will find the KO.
We'll be able to find more than just that. They're going to be finding a plethora of KOs to TwoTapTony and even more. Taking out Student at the end there, bringing out our favorite duelist, Adam Warlock. Doing God's work on that one, and we'll see if they can bring that one up as well. You know, in that sense, Tony, I feel like Adam's similar to Ultron. You know, playing a little bit more of that hybrid presence there.
Ooh. Hybrid presence though, Joji. The isolation of the KO, Goddess of Death coming out there, but of course Meteor M is the one we're looking at, and it doesn't quite find its mark. Smiles does have theirs available, but Soul Resurgence is back. Into the butterfly from Joji. Wosh will follow up here. OTR with the res here. The Karmic Revival comes through. Kara and Insert Coin are back. And we'll see now RMIT fight their fight out here. Dance the butterfly from Kyrie, who's come back into fruition. So much damage here dealt across Monash's board, and they have to retreat right now because all of the KOs are still coming out from RMIT.
Still coming out, still locking in, and we'll see if they can take this one for a spin one step further as going to be stuck back up for the moment. Going to stack things up. Things down here. See how they fare to this one, Tony. How they will be able to pull their way through. Time is a ticking here. Well, I still got quite a bit of it. They're gonna need more in a second.
Oh,
what a wall!
Yeah, the Brood Wall's absolutely key here. And Ninja popping the strangling prison, just trying to put them in jail here for the side of RMIT. We'll see Invisible Boundary. We'll see Smiles, though, get taken out there. Nothing really coming out from the Magneto Meteor M. Dance the Butterfly here is softening up some KOs here for the likes of Monash. But Joji needs to be careful there. Dixon able to find the fights, and then the shots coming through. It is going to be another from Joji. Monash will be able to push this part that little bit further forward. RMIT can stop it. Insert Coin here onto the Strange. Potentially the portal on here to deny this. This could be good. Soul Resurgence as well coming out from Kara immediately.
And there's more where that came from with the Invisible Boundary as well from Pioven there. We are going to see Meteor M come out. Wosh not able to deliver on that one. That's a trouble, but Goddess of Death going online now. Dancing the Butterfly into the Strangling Prison. Kari takes advantage here. OTR are still going to be looking to bring themselves back, but the damage is good. Great even working out for RMIT, and they bring the whole squad back online with the Karmic Revival. OTR going to take it far.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. I was gonna say it felt like a little bit of maybe overzealous nature, but OTR just really wanting to secure that fight win there for RMIT, and of course, as we saw, Strange is banned for Monash. It's been a permaban this entire series from the side of RMIT, so they don't have the luxury of portaling back and immediately answering. Psionic Seduction coming out here from Genzo to try and stop them, but once again, the Brute Walls are so punishing here, and then Brute just kind of eating up that Psionic Seduction. I was gonna say Dance of the Butterfly needs to come in quickly. Soul Resurgent coming out here from Kero to nullify all the damage. Everybody's shielded up, everybody is healthy, and everybody is putting their best foot forward as overtime ticks for RMIT right now.
And it will. And Strangling Prison coming online here. Invisible Boundary into the Eternal Bond. They're combining the Strategist Ultimates here. We do have Meteor coming through. Not going to be able to do much. Invisible Boundary from Insert Coin as well. Looking to see if they can go leaps and bounds. Section 99 going to go down straight now. Twofold for Monash right now, though. This could be the time to take advantage. The time to pump it up. They're getting a lot of damage and now taking more. Surely they can push it over the line. It's all working out for Monash here. They win that engagement, and they might just be able to take it one step further. A minute 30 has been earned there, Tony. The battle rages on.
Will continue. Meteor M for WHOCE. Psionic Seduction for Genzo. RMIT. I was going to say, I looked to Kyrie there. Dance of the Butterfly could have been absolutely key in trying to win that fight back for RMIT, but we'll see. Joji almost 100-0 Kyrie on the initial engagement there, and RMIT, well, they need to be a little bit careful because Genzo Psionic Seduction immediately going to be coming out here. Magneto, Meteor M across the line just to soften up these killing blows, but it is going to be Smiles taken out by Dixon, and we'll see Monash continue to put their foot forward. WHOCE will be able to find Air Ninja. We'll see Karmic Revival out of OTR. But of course, nobody's fallen just yet. No KOs are coming. Goddess of Death here. Dance the Butterfly coming out from Kyrie. Can be revived by the Adam Warlock, but it is not going to happen here. The rest of RMIT with a Strangling Prison follow-up. It's Air Ninja for 2 big KOs there. And it's looking like RMIT are looking to hold it down here.
Oh my goodness, can you believe it? They have held it down, but now 15 seconds to go. They just needed to get pressure on. They've got Venom coming out. They've got Cap as well. They need to get everything they can to get to the mission vehicle as fast as they can. They've taken out Joji. No one's getting close enough. Oh, that's golden. WHOCE has made it just in time. Student brings out the Eternal Bond. It's not over till it's over, Tony. And they're still going to be fighting onto this one. The walls are keeping them in place. They're clearing out the space, doing whatever they can. And here it comes. Freedom charge. Dance to the bottom. They're giving it their absolute best here, Tony.
Invisible Boundary as well. Carp will be capped here. Genzo Feast to the Abyss. RMIT are still healthy. Air Ninja will look to walk it up there with the ball coming from the Magneto. And it is going to be still RMIT fighting out this mission vehicle as overtime will tick. Joji almost finding a capitalization. Karmic Revival once again, keeping everybody healthy with Soul Resurgent to Kero. And everybody is bleeding right now for Monash. It's all of the damage from RMIT comes to fruition here. We'll see Galactic Legend out of Dixon, but Invisible Boundary will keep everybody healthy. Troji falls, Genzo 2, WHOCE is gone, and everybody here from the side of RMIT combining as Monash will fall at the final hurdle.
Oh my goodness. Can you believe it? RMIT have brought it back and taken it away for a 3-0 clean sweep here, Tony. Air Ninja has taken away an MVP performance and well deserved. Take a bow with that one. The denial coming out from that Groot presence was just insane. They managed to isolate the fights, take down their enemies one by one there. It was just well played to a beat, and they will be able to secure their path through to the grand final, where they will face UNSW. And what does that mean? That means we are going to be seeing Monash be placed in our 3rd place matchup, Tony. I can't believe my eyes.
Yeah, that is heartbreak at the fullest Monash, as you said, the reigning champions from last season, now third, fourth decider for them. Doesn't feel right. RMIT coming out here. I was going to say, Matt, well-deserved MVP. I feel like for the whole series, Air Ninja put on an absolute show of massive proportions here. RMIT just looked that step better than Monash tonight, and a well-deserved 3-0 for them.
Yeah, couldn't agree more there, Tony. Really well played, a well-deserved 3-0 sweep coming through. And speaking of sweep, we're sweeping up the carpet. Welcome in, Smiles!
Hello, everybody. It is good to be back. Good to see you guys again.
Oh, good to see you again too, Smiles. What an incredible series from you guys, taking it away in a clean sweep. Was that what you expected out of that series?
No, not really. We've been working on things, but Monash are renowned for being a very tough match. We had a feeling it would be a bit closer, but all our VOD reviewing and practice seems to have paid off and made us look rather clean out there tonight, which I'm glad to see.
Yeah, absolute threatening presence coming out of you guys. I was going to say, I want to really draw your focus in on one stage there. I was going to say the Groot and Ultron team up. What the comms like there? I was going to say the target focus from you guys bringing out the Groot was absolutely sensational.
The pivot to the Groot, the comms tonight were loud. I am very grateful that my roommate was not asleep because I was loud. So the Ultron Groot pivot worked pretty well. We had a lot of calls. Like when they swapped Wolverine, we actually changed where we were holding and gave up a lot of cart positioning so that they couldn't take us into the void. But otherwise, it was just completely in sync. We had our Ultron dives, and when our Ultron dives were up, we went back to frontline first, and then we'd go back to backline first, and just had a really smooth system backwards and forwards. Who we wanted down.
Love to hear it, and the system definitely paid dividends here tonight. But heading towards next week, you guys have earned your place into the grand finals. Do you think you're going to have a pretty comfortable time there, or do you think you could see a drawn-out series against UNSW?
Well, what we will see is RMIT back in the grand finals for a second time, and we're going to give UNSW a run for their money. We're not going to make it easy. I can promise you that much. It'll be a good watch.
Can't wait to see it, mate. That is going to be a highlight series, to say the least there. And I got to say, it's been an incredible season so far. And I guess, do you have any reflections on the journey so far?
Nothing too major, I guess, other than I miss Cap. I don't think they needed to nerf my boy. Hashtag bring back Cap. I miss him, man. It's been too long. Been 2 weeks, it's too long.
That's all right. Maybe they'll bring him back in season 4.5 or 5.
Here's hoping, man. Here's hoping.
Yeah, here's hoping. All right. Thanks for coming on once again, Smiles. Congratulations to you and the team for making the grand final. And we might see you again
Thank you
next
for
week.
having me. Here's
Always
hoping.
Appreciated. You keep up the great work. All right. Too good. And, oh yeah, one more thing. Happy
Don't you dare.
birthday,
Don't you.
Smiles.
Oh,
Happy
why? How?
101st birthday.
How? I thought I got away with it. I thought you guys forgot this week. I was really excited.
Never.
How?
Never forget.
No, we never forget.
All right. See you guys.
See you later, mate. Have a good one. Always good to get Smiles in the comms there, Tony. Great vibes all round. And yeah, just unbelievable performance tonight. A clean sweep against Monash. RMIT, their chance at the grand final again, a chance to redeem themselves. And let's see how it all played out. Let's check out our bracket after tonight's endeavors.
Yeah, some absolute insane action, I was going to say, from UNSW and UTS in that first semi-final. It felt, I was going to say, we didn't get to see the best of UTS, but I was going to say UNSW, absolute lights-out performance there in that first semi-final. And then shock horror here to Monash's board, 0-3 against RMIT. What has happened here? I was going to say, speaking of Smiles, absolute treat as always there on the interview. And I was going to say, he just said the comms were flowing, target focus was there. And I was going to say the adaptation as well in some of those micro situations just really what made the difference for RMITs in that semi-final. And well, Matt, RMIT, as you heard Smile say, they're back in the grands. They're against UNSW. We'll see UTS and Monash there in that third place. And it feels like we've got more action, plenty of action, of course, to come here.
Yeah, absolutely, Tony. We have all the thrilling action on its way heading towards next week. You know, UTS and Monash, that is going to be quite the clash indeed. But UNSW and RMIT is going to be one and the same. You know, I think there's going to be some great potential coming out of these squadrons here tonight. You know, I think that both teams are going to have to put a lot of work into the VOD review, and I'm really excited to see the final results out of that one as well, Tony. You know, everybody has been working so hard this season to get to this point, and all that hard work is paying off, Tone.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say, it feels fitting, you know, UNSW, the perennial top runners, the contenders here for the grand finals, but RMIT, one of those teams that's definitely deserved their spot there in the grand finals. As you heard from Smiles, they're putting in the prac, they're putting in the hours, and it's definitely paid off week to week, month to month. I was going to say, they've looked just that little bit better every time they've come into the server.
That's it. Definitely looked better and better, and I'm sure they'll look even greater next week. But we'll see how things play out once we get there, Tony. First and foremost, though, we want to say some big shout-outs to our sponsors.
Absolutely, Matt. AGON by AOC, the #1 gaming monitor brand in the world. AGON by AOC provide the best in-class monitor solutions for gaming and all other needs.
And a big shout out to HyperX and Officeworks. Power your game with the latest HyperX gear at Officeworks. When you need speed, control, and zero distractions, Officeworks has got the tech. Discover gaming gear made to handle serious play.
And last but not least, Indomie, the noodle partner made with high-quality flour and selected ingredients and spices. A plate of Indomie mee goreng will certainly brighten up your day. Try any one of the flavors available today from your local grocer or at indomie.com.au. Again, Matt, shout out our sponsors. We love them dearly.
That's it. We love them. Absolutely. Make sure you check them all out, everybody. Speaking of checking things out, check out AEL, AU Esports League, on all of our various social medias there on X, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, you name it, we are on it. Come see some of the highlights from the Elite Series. Amazing stuff coming through there, and I'm sure tonight is going to be no exception with some of the unbelievable players we saw. And there's going to be more where that came from coming in to our final week. Next week, we have our grand finals, our third place matchup of 4 Marble Rivals. Make sure you tune in for that one. It is going to be an absolute banger. You don't want to miss it. And we'll see you there.